No doubt about it. Still pissed off from yesterday, but that was then. This is now. NFL Week 6 to kick off momentarily. We'll have live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Pittsburgh Steelers. The game is on Fox, the final Steeler home game for about a month or so before New Orleans rolls in on November the 13th, as Pittsburgh will be on the road the next 2 weeks with a bye week to follow. Coming off, of course, 4 straight losses. Tampa beat Atlanta last week. Had the whole world buzzing with a roughing the passer foul. We'll see how the officials are here this week, but we're also going to be watching on CBS the Ravens and Giants. So, honestly, should see 2 good games here at 1 o'clock. Damn good slate in the NFL from top to bottom, start to finish here this Sunday afternoon, from these early 1 o'clock games to Bills-Chiefs in a playoff thriller rematch coming up at 4 o'clock. Sunday Night Football, one of the NFL's best rivalries between a few teams that absolutely hate each other, as we'll start in Western Pennsylvania and then end the night in the city of brotherly love in Philly, as the Eagles will host the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. And I plan on having live watch-along reactions live here on YouTube all day of the triple header, starting with Buccaneers Steelers, of course, TV2, Ravens Giants on CBS as mentioned, but then coming up with Buffalo and Kansas City, as Pittsburgh went to upstate Western New York last week, and as Mike Tomlin said, they got smashed, and rightfully so. Game could have been a hell of a lot closer, though, if you really think about it. But of course, that was then as well. You move on. They got to find a rhythm. They got to find a groove of some sorts. Help out Kenny Pickett, who's going to start his first ever game at home as the Steeler quarterback. Of course, 2 weeks ago at home against the Jets, he came in the second half and then got his first ever career start last week against the Bills, losing 38-3, but did, however, throw for over 300 yards passing. They need to help him out in the run game, though. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. We'll see if he can find the end zone and finally piss down the leg of the defense. But Pittsburgh's on the kickoff, so Brady and the Bucs are going to get the football here to begin the game. But yeah, plan is live watch-along reactions now, a little bit later on, and then also later on tonight as well. 4 o'clock, and then Sunday Football. But in the meantime, we're underway from Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium in the Steel City. And here comes number 12, Tom Brady, former Patriot, 12-3 all-time, versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. They show off the graphic with his record, touchdowns, interceptions, and his quarterback rating. But 12-3 all-time against Steelers, that's including the playoffs. But this is his first ever time playing the Steelers as a Buccaneer, as Pittsburgh actually played New England for the first time last month since Brady had left after 2019, and first play of the game is a handoff. So a few yards. Tampa going to have a second and about 7, give or take, but we're also underway now with Giants-Ravens as both visitors begin the game with the football. But Brady, yes, 12-3 all-time versus the Steelers, even though the Steelers all-time are 9-2 against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, Tom Brady, as they mentioned right as I began the stream, is in fact 23-5 versus rookie quarterbacks, hence Kenny Pickett, and he has won 12 straight for number 12. Slant over the middle, caught and dropped by Chris Godwin, who used to play his college ball just right up the road right here in Happy Valley, but drops it incomplete, be third down for Tampa Bay. So maybe Pittsburgh can be that unlucky number 13 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here today. Bucks are also a 9.5-point favorite. So once again with a Steeler game, for whatever reason, go back to when they beat Baltimore Week 18 last year and made the playoffs. That number 9 was crucial. So take it for what it's worth, but a 9.5-point favorite, 9 wins all time for the Steelers against the Bucks. Differential with 12 and 3s 9. So on 4th and 9 with 14:09 to play in the opening quarter, Tampa goes 3 and out, and the Steeler defense gets off the field. They're without a few key defenders in the back end, though, unfortunately, led by Minka Fitzpatrick, and then Cam Sutton, Levi Walls, and Kelly Witherspoon. So honestly, on defense, who the hell steps up? Of course, TJ Watt's still out with an injury. Hopefully he'll be coming back, sometime soon, as Steven Sims is back deep to receive the punt, as Gunnar Olszewski seems to have lost his jaw for the time being with a few muff punts. But here comes Kenny Pickett. We're going to hopefully make some noise with number 8. So 1st and 10 Steelers. After the punt goes out of bounds, you got to find a running game with them. Rock the Naj, run double deuce, run Najee Harris. Run your screen game that you like to, that you've sort of, gotten away from for whatever reason. But these wide receivers, and somebody has to step up, Pat Freiermuth, who's also out today as well. So Zach Gentry, Connor Hayward. Pass complete to George Pickens near side. About a 7-yard pickup, 2nd down and short for the Pittsburgh offense. But, yeah, receivers from Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool to George Pickens. Hell, even, Miles Boykin, Gunner, and then Steven Sims, who's a returner as well. And then Calvin Austin recently has practiced, but doesn't seem like he's going to be playing anytime soon. But you never know. But just keep it balanced, keep it simple, try to keep it as consistent as you can. Don't do anything stupid. Don't turn the ball over. No stupid penalties either. Slant over the middle, complete to Deontay Johnson. So 2 plays and 1st down for the Pittsburgh offense as they move the ball towards midfield. And a new set of downs here. So 2 passes, 1st down. Pickett 2 for 2 for a good 18 yards passing at this point. But you got to find a running game to help him out. Quarterback's best friend is, in fact, his starting running back. And if you have a 2-headed monster in the backfield to, help that out even more, Jalen Warren's played well at times. They'll fake the give on a draw, complete. Claypool, 1st down, Pittsburgh inside the 40, down to the 38. So they're in Buccaneer territory, starting to knock on the door a little bit here. Hopefully they can, put up some points here on their opening drive. And we'll get back to the defense in a minute. But, once again, Steeler football, they run a toss near side to Najee Harris. He's going to lose a few yards in the backfield, so it'll be 2nd and long. But, especially if this offense can't get going, this defense is going to have to keep them in it, as they, always do, it seems like. And, until they get rolling in on offense, just find a way to win the game then when it comes down to it. But with everybody out, more so than on defense and offense, losing Pat Freiermuth sucks too. Somebody, like I said, has to step up in the receiving game. Offensive line hasn't looked that bad. So protect Pickett, best you can. If he needs to tuck it and run, he can do just that. If it comes down to it, too, Mitch Trubisky's, the backup quarterback. But don't even want to go there, as they'll run an end around with Claypool, and he gets a few, but, of course, on 1st and 10, on new set downs there, remember the toss to Najee lost a few yards. So they basically make up that lost yardage and still have a 3rd and long here. It'll officially be as they give us the starting lineups. As Tampa talk about Pittsburgh battling injuries here now. Tampa's been battling injuries for the most part all season long, and here we are mid-October. They're sitting at 3-2. Pittsburgh 1-4, of course, winning week 1, 4 straight losses. 3rd and 6. It's incomplete. and no flags on the play. Intended for Pickens again, who I said last week, it seems like he stepped up. Actually, we're going to get a roughing the passer on the Buccaneer defense, so I'll take it. 15 yards, automatic first down. We'll see a replay, see if it was an actual roughing the passer or not, because, well, we talked about that a second ago with when it happened, of course, to Tua and then Brady, and then, yeah, it's a little bit of a late hit, not a roughing the passer, but Whitecapper's right there, and he throws a flag, so 15 yards, automatic first down. You can't even hit the quarterback anymore. But Pittsburgh lucks out. First and 10 now at the 20. Pickett going to be under center. And they get the snap. Hand off to Najee, who will get about a yard, maybe two if he's lucky enough. But they got to help out Pickett with this run game. Matt Canada's got to do a 10 times better job, no doubt about it, play calling. Because like I said last week, even though that was then, this is now, and like I said, the start's still pissed off about yesterday. So audio only all day today, and we'll get back to the norm next week. But man, just that game could have been a hell of a lot. Both games we're talking about, yesterday and Steelers game last Sunday at Buffalo, could help them closer if offensively get the hell off the field, make another stop or two. Josh Allen ain't Tom Brady by any means, but he threw for 400 yards last week on their ass. Pittsburgh's now without, some key defenders, and Tom Brady's Tom Brady, for God's sake. So, what does that mean? We'll see. Only time's going to tell. But, honestly, for Pittsburgh, you got to work some clock. You got to control the line of scrimmage. You got to run the football. They got 3rd and 6. Under 10 to play in this opening quarter. And they'll have trips and a bunch near side, but whistles and flags, and looks like a false start on the left side. Yeah, Dotson, the left guard. So 5 yards, they'll replay it down, be 3rd and 11 now for the Pittsburgh offense. No doubt about it, I'm taking that 15-yard penalty for the late hit. Whether there's a roughing the pass or not, it's a late hit. You still can't do that. But, fact of the matter of it still is, the officials need to get their head out of their ass and just let these players play. It's football. You're never going to get hit. Same formation. From the 21, 3rd and 11. Pickett going to tuck it and run, and he's going to be about a yard and a half short, it looks like. So they'll have a decision to make here. Go for it on 4th and short. Crowd going to want him to do it, and it seems like he's going to let the offense out there too. Maybe they go hurry up here and catch him off guard. Maybe try to trauma off sides. Quarterback sneak. No. Pickett, 4th and 1 out of the gun. Going to hand off Jalen Warren. They get the first down. They'll move the sticks now. Got a goal to go. So, any other time, I'd say kick it. They had the momentum though. Why not? That would have sucked if not. But they get it 1st and goal. Now you definitely got to score a touchdown. You can't settle for 3 at this point. But, it still comes down to it. You still have Chris Boswell, who last week, he missed a few field goals, no doubt about it. But the win was a factor. Hostile environment. Tomlin even said, once again, they got smashed last week. So it's one game. You move on, pass complete. Johnson at the 5-yard line, so 2nd and goal from there. But Pat Freiermuth, if he was healthy, if he was active today, I'd be saying go to him. But he's out, concussion. So, you still have Zach Gentry, former quarterback at Michigan, now tight end in the NFL. Pickett, I'd be looking to him. Hell, even Connor Hayward. But these receivers, Sims is in. There's Hayward in motion, younger brother of Cam, of course. Pickett out of the gun. Screen, Najee Harris and green grass in front of him. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Couldn't have asked for a better opening drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers today, especially against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They drive after a quick 3-and-out by Tampa to begin the game. Go about 60, 65 yards. Go for it on 4th and 1. Get it. Goal to go. A couple plays later, they punch it in, touchdown. And like I said a little bit ago, and even out last week and the week before, like they've gotten away from the screen game for whatever reason. Touchdown play, they catch him off guard and he's wide ass open, and Boswell's extra points up and good. Pittsburgh leads at 7-zip with 7:38 to play in the first quarter here today. So balance, even though they really haven't many runs, that drives all Kenny Pickett for the most part, making plays. Of course, Pittsburgh drafted him in the first round this past year in the draft, 20th overall out of Pitt, and got his first start last week after sitting first 3 weeks. Pittsburgh 1-2. Then he comes in the second half against the Jets. They should have won that game, but somehow blew it late. And then hell, even last week too could have been a hell of a lot closer. And now here we are today. From last week to the end of the month, and then a bye week. Tough 4-game stretch with the lone home game today. As they went to Buffalo, they'll go to Miami and Philly the next 2 weeks. After today with Tampa at home. Right now, and Pittsburgh up 7, but I mean, they still don't have a running game. Okay, good touchdown drive, no doubt about it, but home or away, you have a lead now, especially if it comes down to nitty-gritty in the second half. Hopefully you can have a running game, at some point in time, work some clock, because that's what has been their kryptonite the past 2 games. Hell, even all season, for that matter. Offensively, they have not been able to run the football, okay? But then defensively, they haven't been able to stop the run. Like, once again, I'll say it, for the 3rd straight year, who would have thought in 2022, hell, even 2021 and 2020, that my 2 favorite football teams, Penn State and the Pittsburgh Steelers, old school smash mouth, blue collar football, would not be able to run the football, let alone stop the run on defense. But, I mean, I guess it's just the way it is nowadays, but you still got to, play basic, fundamentally sound football. For what it's worth, you got to make plays when the game's on the line too. So, just find a way to win at the end of the day. And now they're up 7, as they trailed in their first 2 home games, against the Patriots and Jets. And then, came back, had a lead against New York. And then, once again found a way to lose that game. But 0-3 against, the AFC East. This Tampa game today, even with Tom Brady and next week's game at Miami on Sunday night, of the 4 games that I'm talking about here, Buffalo, Tampa, Miami, and Philly, these 2 right now, next week, of the 4, no doubt about it, have to be the most winnable games. In no particular order, but home field advantage, Heinz Field, like Boswell on a kickoff, and we'll have a return from the 1. So out past the 20 to the 28 and a half, 29, 1st and 10, as they give us the Steeler touchdown update on CBS during Ravens Giants. So as mentioned, these are the 2 games watching. They show off the quarterback comparison. Hell, Brady's been in the league 23 years, so no doubt about it, he's going to have 100,000 plus, passing yards when he's done his all-time, leading passer in NFL history. Pickett's in his first year, 2nd ever start, and has played officially not even 7 full quarters to this point. So. First and 10, they'll hand off. Leonard Fournette, he's going to hit the hole and get out past the 40 before being brought down by Hayward, and it looked like Arthur Millette, if I'm not mistaken. Good to see Edmonds back, as he was out last week with an injury. That's a fucking hold on the left tackle. Tristan Wirfs on Alex Highsmith, call it. But they're letting him play. I don't mind it, It's a penalty, they'll call it. If it's not, don't let them play. But defensively, like I've said, who's stepping up for Pittsburgh today with everybody that's out? Brady throws in the ground on the screen, incomplete. So 2nd and 10. But, talk about Tampa with them sitting at 3-2, coming off a win at home against Atlanta. Fournette still their, main running back. Rashard White hasn't played that bad when needed. But at receiver, and I swear to God, I feels like I've seen every Buccaneer game so far this year for whatever reason. Whether it's, been a big game or just on, TV2 during a Steeler game. That pass is caught by Mike Evans in Steeler territory, 1st and 10, Tampa. It's Evans, it's Godwin. They brought in Julio Jones, but, he really hasn't done much, been injured. Russell Gage has played a little bit, but they're missing Rob Gronkowski at tight end. You have Cameron Brate. You did have O.J. Howard, but you got rid of him. He went to Buffalo. They cut his ass. He's in Houston last I knew. Out of the pistol, 1st and 10. Fournette on the give again. So here we go again. Pittsburgh can't run the football on offense, and right now can't stop it on defense. As Fournette gets 7, and now a 2nd and 3. So we'll see what it gives. As always, I'm sure something will. But this defense, somebody's going to have to step up. And I'm not talking about, even though I am, up front with Cameron Hayward in the middle, no TJ Watt since week 1. They've missed that pressure off the edge since they're 0-8 without 90. Hopefully, like I said, he comes back, sooner rather than later, even though he got his knee scoped and, that tacks on a few more weeks to his pec injury. But even in the back end with, how good the secondary, not necessarily normally is, but, you're out with Minka, Levi Wallace, Cam Sutton, and Kelly Witherspoon once again. These linebackers, and I've said it all fucking year, in the middle with Devin Bush and Miles Jack. Highsmith coming off the edge needs to step up, along with Malik Reed, who they traded for from Denver. But hell, even Robert Spillane, Jameer Jones. Tampa going to have to burn a timeout here with 4:59 to play in the opening quarter. Got a 3rd and 2 as the play clock was winding down. As the sun is out, about a 60-65 degree October Sunday afternoon before it's going to cool down middle of this week and then warm back up again next week. But Pittsburgh is going to be in South Beach next Sunday night at Miami, taking on whoever's playing quarterback for the Dolphins at that point in time, as they are hosting the Minnesota Vikings today. As always, coming at halftime, we'll have first half stats and scores. We'll take a look around the rest of the NFL as well to see what the hell's going on here this week 6. No London game this morning. That'll return in 2 weeks for the 3rd and final one of those before they head to Germany and Mexico City next month. But, of course, week 6 began on Thursday night with Washington and Chicago with the Skins, the football team in Landover, Maryland, the Washington Commanders, out of the DMV area, beat the Bears by 5, 12-7, in another shit show on Thursday night, to say the least, as Tampa converts on 3rd and 2 and gets a first down. So they're going to try to at least cut this lead, if not, hell, tie it up. But Spillane going to take the motion man and Gage out of a 4-3, dump off on a screen. Devin Bush makes the tackle. Medium gain, be 2nd and medium for Tampa here. Got a late flag, so we'll see what that dirty laundry is from the Zebras. But clock's still rolling, but now it doesn't seem like there is a flag on the play. It looks like they picked it up. So, all right. I was going to say, if there was a flag, it might have been a hold. It might have been an illegal man downfield, but no penalty on the play. We play on. It's not 1st and 10, though. That was just 1st and 10, and you got, 4 or 5 yards. It's 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. Yeah, Fournette on the give. Now it's 1st and 10, Fox. So whoever the hell is running the scoreboard for Fox right now is on something. Maybe smoking a little too much with Howie Long during pregame, but Tampa now, 1st and 10 again, yes. So some confusion with the chain gang, but they get it set, 1st and 10. As, of course, Todd Bowles takes over for Bruce Arians, former Steeler offense coordinator, in Ben's first few years before Tomlin fired him. And then there's a fucking bird flying as Miles Jack deflects it, and the pass was a little too high to begin with from Brady to his tight end, Cameron Brady, over the middle. Wide open in the end zone. But, yeah, he got his hand up, tipped it, or else he would have caught it, and then some fucking pigeon, it looked like, just came out of nowhere and almost got Randy Johnson. But incomplete, 2nd and 10. Ball at the 17, out of the pistol again here. And White will motion out of the backfield, but Fournette's still behind Brady. They'll run a bubble screen. Ball deflected in the air, incomplete. Pierre picks it up, to run it back, but it's incomplete. So, 3rd and 10. But, yeah, Mike Tomlin, Todd Bowles, Byron Leftwich, a former Steeler backup quarterback behind Roethlisberger, Tampa's offense coordinator. Got a, few former Buccaneers and Steelers connections with these two teams, back to Bruce Arians, Jaguars as well. But former Patriot and Brady, 3rd and 10. It'll be incomplete. Good coverage by Trey Norwood, pass intended for Godwin. And Tampa, at least they were able to move the ball a little bit better on that than their opening drive, I should say. But they still stall. They'll kick the field goal here from Matt Gay. So 4th and 10. See the distance as they had a 4th and why did I say Matt Gay? He's not fucking playing for the Buccaneers anymore. Try and suck up. Officially 35 yards, so my bad. But 3 for 3. Well, they're going to make it 5 yards closer because Pittsburgh jumped off sides. But what was it? 4th and 10. So 4th and 5 would be 30-yard field goal. So that would have been a bad offside if it was 4th and 5 or less, and it's automatic first down. So, yeah, 5 yards, still 4th down. They'll still kick it from 30 yards out, I would think. But, yeah, Tampa's second drive here, no doubt about it, better than the first. Pittsburgh still going to get the off the field on defense, which they do. But, you're still going to the field goal, but at least you're not giving up a touchdown. So, force the kick, make them settle for 3. Maybe this, with the offside, this kick lucks out. He misses. Maybe it's blocked. 30-yard field goal attempt by Ryan Suckup in Tampa. Kicks up and good. So it is 7-3 Steelers. Black and gold will get the ball back with under 3 to play. When we return, Tom Brady officially 3-9, 28 yards passing. Fournette also has 5 carries, 28 yards rushing. And then Pickett, perfect 5 of 5, 37 yards and a touchdown. Also has 10 yards rushing. Pickett's been efficient. He's been not necessarily thrown to the wolves. I mean, I feel like, honestly, no doubt about it, they were, hoping Mitch was going to play a little bit better than they didn't. We're going to have to play him until they absolutely had to. But when it came down to it, they still, started to play him when they had to because they had to. Because even with, Mitch at 1-2, Pickett's 0-1 as a starter. They lost against the Jets when he came in the second half. But, he's looking for his first career win day. And why wouldn't you want to have it up against Tom Brady? And then maybe you can get momentum on your side and, even at 1-4, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Just find a way to win a few of these next, couple games and get into the thick of it, next month and in December and into the new year and, go from there. And you still might be, not necessarily in it, but just have a chance, give yourself a chance. Manageable situations, so to speak. And it starts offensively for Pickett at quarterback. In the backfield in the run game. They have to find a running game for him to help him out because he's not going to be able to do it all by himself. But he is playing, of course, no doubt about it, 10 times better than Mitch was. But, 10 of 13 against the Jets. Didn't have an incompletion, though. All 3 incomplete passes were interceptions or turnovers. And 2 of them, the first and third, weren't his fault. The second one, they shouldn't have been thrown to begin with. Should have been running and working the clock. Yet no. And then, the Jets end up scoring and winning. And last week, he, as mentioned earlier, threw for over 300 yards against a damn good Buffalo defense. No doubt about it, they were getting blown out. But still, man, there's a pigeon in the end zone now. So, touchdown birds. The ref's trying to shoo him away, so they're going to have to bring grounds crew out probably to, maybe we can call it the fucking game commission. It is hunting season. I'm sure somebody in the stands has some sort of something, don't want to say weapon, but to get rid of it. I'm sure there's a stone or two if you really want to do damage, but we'll see how much of a distraction the pigeon causes as this game rolls on. Maybe the pigeon's the Steeler Padre goose that's been giving San Diego an edge as they advanced to the NLCS last night, defeating the Dodgers and host the Phillies. As baseball postseason with the playoffs rolls on, the Astros await the winner of the Guardians-Yankees series, if you will, and then the World Series to begin. But, we're in the thick of it here in football season, mid-October. Even with hockey just starting, basketball starting this week, it's still football season. And with as good or bad as, teams I like are, I'm still going to sit down and watch. And thanks for tuning in and listening, audio only. Today for all the streams. We'll get back to the norm as mentioned next week, but in the meantime, thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. So 3 yards on 1st and 10 there for Pittsburgh. Be 2nd and 7. They lead by 4, 7-3, 2:15 and counting to play in the opening quarter. Left to right across your television screen, ready on audio dial, and we'll see what they draw up here on offense. In the meantime, they're going to have to call a timeout. So, play clock winding down. Not a bad timeout. You'll still have 2 remaining with the 17:05 to play before halftime, the 2-minute warning. So, they'll take a split-screen commercial. In the meantime, we'll get back to the action in about 30 seconds or so. So, just as always, thanks for tuning in and listening. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, go in Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below, that thumbs up button. Share, hashtag NFL, hashtag Buccaneers, hashtag Steelers, hashtag TB for Tampa Bay versus PIT for Pittsburgh. That's hashtag TB versus PIT. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated as well. Let me know in the comments below who you have winning today's game between Tampa and Pittsburgh, along with all the other NFL action going on here this NFL Week 6. And after the timeout, Pittsburgh goes 2nd and 7 with 2:05 to play. In the first, up 4, 7-3. Ball at the 16-yard line. Pickett will be in the gun with Najee to his right. Once again, left to right across your television screen, right in Aldal. Got a tight end in Zach Gentry, and 3 receivers with Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and Chase Claypool. Pass near side, incomplete, intended for 18. DJ, Deontay Johnson, as Brandon Gaudin and Daryl Johnson, the former Cowboy fullback, are in the booth with Pam Oliver down the field for today's broadcast. Is normally, when Pittsburgh plays an NFC opponent, 9 times out of 10, the game's going to be on Fox. So you went from CBS to Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime, CBS, Fox Day, NBC Sunday Night Football next week. At Philly on CBS 2 weeks from now, Halloween weekend, then a bye. When New Orleans rolls in about a month from now, that game I can probably guarantee, as Pickett goes down the sack back inside the 5, so it'll be 4th down, and they'll have to punt. So, all right, we've settled down, we've settled in. Both these teams, have either started off with a good start or slow, and now the script's starting to flip a little bit. So, still a lot of football have to be played, but yeah, Pickett just gonna have to try to run for his life, and then just goes down the sack. But 4th down, and they'll reset the play clock. 1:41, so they take off some time. All right. But, yeah, this is the final Steeler home game for about a month. Fox will have that game as well then Sunday night, then Monday night, and then you're into December. So they're going to be on TV regardless. And if you're not watching, hopefully you're there in attendance cheering them on. 4th and 19, and Presley Harvin with blue suede shoes, back from injury. Booms it to the 44. Jalen Darden on the return, going to spin, boom. And then, yeah, all right. 1st and 10, Tampa. Yeah, so Tampa quick 3 and out. They punted on their opening drive. Pittsburgh responds with a touchdown. And then Tampa gets it back. Field goal drive. Pittsburgh, Pickett goes down on a sack, 4th and long, they got a punt. So we're pretty even, to say the least. So, as always, we'll see what gives. But back to the Steeler defense once again. They've missed the pressure off the edge with no TJ Watt. So, and with all the injuries out today, especially in the back end, somebody has to step up. I don't care who the hell it's going to be. Somebody has to step up. The Marvin Leal just went on IR as well. So, Hayward's basically in the middle all by himself. Lulu's there, but even Larry, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ogunjobi, Wormley, plays all right every once in a while. You have them, Highsmith coming off the edge, Malik Reed as well. But man, no TJ Watt, and it just absolutely sucks because they're just, no doubt about it, absolutely missing his ass. And, once again, hopefully sooner rather than later he returns. But it's the backers in the middle. It is. And it's been that way all year. Even when they've been healthy. They need to step up and make plays today and moving forward. But then in the back end, with no Minka, Sutton, Kelly Witherspoon, Levi Wallace, you're down to Terrell Edmonds, Arthur Merlette, James Pierre, seen Trey Norwood out there a little bit as well. So somebody's going to have to step the hell up. Like I said, I don't care who the hell it is. Just make plays. You got to get pressure on Brady. They threw a late hit on the Tampa defense on Pickett. Just watch yourself with how the officials, recently have been throwing the flags. But it's still football. Go out and fucking hit somebody. Make a play. You got to create and capitalize off turnovers, I might add, too. That might end up being the difference in today's game, the more I think about it. But, give this crowd something to cheer about. Keep yourself in it. They've been in every game other than last week. And even at that point, that was a hell of a lot closer than the final score showed. In a 35-point, 38-3 loss, their largest defeat in over 30 years, dating back to 1989. But, a 3-point win, a 3-point loss, a 12-point loss, even though it was a 6-point loss. I'm not counting the late touchdown as time expired at Cleveland on Thursday night. And then a 4-point loss, and then, once again last week. You have a few plays go your way, you make a few stops. You score a touchdown, trying to have to settle for 3. It's a lot closer than it is. But they still got smashed. They got their ass kicked. 2nd and 15 after the false start. Tampa ball. Brady from the 41 out of the gun. Trips in a bunch top of your screen. And 12 looking to throw, complete to Godwin inside the 40 down to the 37. So 1st and 10 for the Bucs, not the Pirates. They play right down the street at PNC Park, but not in this month. Not this time of year they don't. Their season for next year was over a couple weeks ago as well. So 1st and 10 from the 37. Godwin going to be in motion. And they'll run it on a draw. White. And down to the 29 he goes. So that might do it for the opening quarter. They're not going to have to snap if they don't want to. About a 4 or 5 second differential between the game clock and play clock. Got an update. Got the 49ers in hot lane and taking on the Falcons. And 14-zip for the Atlanta Falcons. That's a little bit of a surprise. 2nd and 2, they will snap it here down the quarter. Fournette gets the give, 1st down at the 25. So they'll have a 1st and 10 at that spot to begin the second quarter. Of course, they'll flip ends and be going towards the river now. As speaking of rivers, it doesn't seem like here today, or hell in any NFL game for that matter, these fans are going to storm the field and tear down the goalpost and then throw it in the Tennessee River by any means. But we're also going at some point in time today during these few NFL streams recap college football from this past weekend, and then also preview next week, as I mentioned yesterday. So keep an eye out for that. But coming up at halftime here, 15 minutes from now, football time, we're going to have first half stats and scores, take a look around what's going on in the NFL. And then we'll, talk heavy about, of course, Pittsburgh Steelers, as we always do. But later on is when we'll also preview the NFL for next week. On top of that, which Pittsburgh will be on the road down in Miami on Sunday night next week. So up 7-3 here at the end of one today. Tampa's got a 1st and 10 at the 25. Going to look to cut the lead again at 1, let them take the lead with a touchdown, go up 10-7 potentially here early second quarter. So with all the injuries, whether they've been out or they're out today, somebody has to step up, and they got to find a running game, long story short. You got to keep it balanced. You got to keep it, consistent as you can. I mean, Pittsburgh offensively, though, man, it's like, and the Steeler game in general, Last week it wasn't a heart attack, but first 4 games and every game prior to that, unless they're getting blown out, it's always down to the wire. So I'd expect the same today, even with Brady's record against the black and gold. Because whenever New England rolled in last month, that was the first time since the late 90s that neither Brady or Roethlisberger was starting a quarterback for the two teams. But then they still get Brady coming to Steel City today as a Buccaneer, as Pittsburgh is up 7-3 here at the end of one, as mentioned. So it's either they're up and they're going to hold on to the lead, or they're down and they're trying to find a way to come back. Can you at least keep it somewhere in the middle? Brady 1st and 10 from the 25, looking to throw complete to Mike Evans. And then Spillane and Edmonds make the tackle, 1st down marker. So another 1st and 10 for Tampa. But, Tom Brady's Tom Brady. It's hard to pick against him. You got to find a way to beat him, though. But shock the NFL here today. At 1-4, and then you beat Brady. Keep yourself in it. Keep people talking about you. When you win, there's no talk at all. But when you lose, and they've lost 4 in a row, there's been a lot of talk of, okay, what are they going to do moving forward? And I've said it, it starts in the backfield and up front of the line. Got to be able to run the ball and stop the run. But, going up against Brady, Fournette's really their only running back. He is. But he also has weapons to get the ball out to. Depth-wise, not as deep as it's been. And he's, missing, some people, it seems like, as mentioned. But they've still found a way to, get to 3-2. Pittsburgh at 1-4 could also be around the same, but slant over the middle caught. Pierre and Norwood bring down Russell Gage inside the 5, so 1st and goal. Tampa, early second quarter. Brady trying to get some of his teammates motivated. They're going to try to punch it in here. I'd be giving it to Leonard Fournette. I mean, watch for the play action, though. He's not going to tuck it and run on a bootleg by any means, but right now is when he's missing Rob Gronkowski, so we'll see if they go to a tight end or not. No, they'll hand off to Fournette, and he's going to be down at the half-yard line, so 2nd and goal Tampa from there, as they're going to try to take their first lead here today, but see if they can force a field goal if it comes down to it. They'll probably end up scoring, though, to be honest with you. This keeps up. They're going to be hands on hips on defense late in the game, and then Brady's going to pick them apart, especially with all the defenders out. But they hand off to Fournette, and they lose a few. Back to the 5, and a gang tackle led by the Star Wars. So, all right, prove me wrong, show out, one of those, make stops, force a kick at this point. But this also with the loss gives Brady a few more, yards to work with, some breathing room, to open it up. 3rd and goal from the 4 officially. And he pump fakes, he goes down on the sack back at the 9, so they get to him. And maybe, this defense will bend but not break today, compared to late. Maybe that steel curtain is, on its way back down, if you know what I mean. Hayward, and then Malik Reed. You got to make plays. They force a kick. Their back's against the wall, and they're fighting back. Kicks up and good. So a 3-and-out, and then 2 field goal drives by Tampa. They still trail by 1, 11:01 to play in the first half. It's 7-6 Pittsburgh, as they'll get the ball back here when we return. Potentially 3rd time's a charm to extend your lead. At 4, at 10-6 with a field goal of your own. Hell, if not, go up 8, go up touchdown with 2 point. Go and score another touchdown. Starts with a running game. You got to rock the Najee. You got to run Najee Harris. He's your bell cow. You drafted him last year in the 1st round for a reason. And then had over 1,000 all-purpose yards last year. This year, with a number 2 running back behind him and Jalen Warren, as Benny Snell's still in the roster, does work on special teams, more so than not. I'd hope to God, you have a running game when you need it. But they don't have it to begin with. So until then, this man just, something's got to give. And to help out Pickett, so he doesn't have to do it all, even though damn well he's going to make plays because he already has. Najee does have a touchdown, on a screen pass, but you got to run the football. Run the damn ball, please and thank you. But then these receivers, like I said once again, offensively for Pittsburgh. Freiermuth out. No tight end targets yet for Zach Gentry or Connor Hayward by any means. But he's trying to keep it balanced to his 3 receivers. And we've seen Sims in the return game and on offense. Gunner's still around. Boykins played a little bit this year. Anthony Miller and Calvin Austin are two others, but, they've been banged up since camp, for God's sakes. And, on IR. And speaking of Anthony Miller, cracked cold on Miller time for this commercial break. But he's got it out to Pickens, who it seems like has, and I said this last week, in 1, 2, 3 order for the receivers, it's Pickens, Johnson, and Claypool. When it's been Johnson, Claypool, Pickens. But if you're a receiver in general, just get the hell open. The quarterback's going to find your ass, hopefully, if he's good enough. Yeah, Mike Tomlin, former Bucs DB coach, was in Minnesota as well. And then he's been the Steeler head coach since 2007, has yet to have a losing season. Even though they sit at 1-4, they've found ways to start either off good or slow, but then, finish strong, and still don't have a losing season, as mentioned, since 2003. The season prior to Roethlisberger getting drafted. So 18 years for Ben and no losing seasons, and 2 Super Bowls later. I mean, that's pretty fucking impressive. And now, post Roethlisberger, Kenny Pickett, they got a 1st and 10, up 1 here today, 7-6 against Brady and the Bucs. So we have an update on CBS. New Orleans with a touchdown, they lead Cincinnati 14-7. The Ravens missed a field goal, but they just scored. Extra points up and good, so Baltimore leads at 7-0. Pickett looking to throw, going to step up and dives at the 25-26 head first. And, all right, yeah. Make it manageable. 2nd and 4. Does just that. Nobody's open, and, well, he's just not going to stand there and do nothing. He's got to make a play. So 2nd and 4 from the 25. He does just that. And they'll run a draw to Najee Harris, 1st down. Out past 35 to the 39. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Under 10 to play in the first half. And remember, Pittsburgh kicked off to begin this game, so they'll get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. So they could do some damage on this drive if they'd want to and work some clock. Field goal, touchdown, go up 10-6, 14-6. Get a stop or 2 on defense. And then as Pickens gets an end around and then sort of hops and flies out of bounds before getting hit. So about a yard or 2, 2nd down. But, then, early 3rd quarter, get the ball back and do something then, hopefully. Don't put the pressure on yourself. Put the pressure on them. Play your game. Make them play your game. Officially a yard, 2nd and 9. Starts up front. This offensive line, only 1 penalty today. A couple weeks ago, everybody on the other line had a penalty. Last week, it was, all right. But that's where it starts. You got to be able to block to run the football to open up a play action. And now they got a 3rd and 5, 6. Johnson with the ball. I'd be taking a deep shot right now. Why not take a deep shot down the middle of the field? 3rd and 4 officially. Got a late whistle, 8:55 on the clock. I think it's an injury. Looks like it's Pittsburgh. Yeah, unfortunately, Mason Cole at center number 61. So J.C. Hossener is going to have to come in. So yeah, from left to right, you got Dan Moore. Kevin Dotson has the penalty. Kendrick Green's out today. Cole goes down with another injury. They did a week 1 at Cincinnati. He'll get up and walk off, but I think he just got tangled. He looks to be okay, but he's going to have to, miss a few plays here. It looks like they'll take a TV timeout in the meantime as we near halftime. But yeah, J.C. Hossener is going to have to come in and play at center for Pittsburgh. He did week 1 at Cincy. Missed Trubisky, the quarterback, though. Okay, now Pickett No doubt about it. I'm sure they have reps together, but that's just something you want to, watch, for some mishandled snaps potentially. Then James Daniels and Chuk on the right side of the line. But I'd be taking the deep shot right now. You got 3rd and 6. You're up a point. Defense playing good. You know, work the sticks. You need 6, get 7. Just keep it simple. But even these tight ends, and no doubt about still need to step up. Yeah, they might run a screen like they do, but I'd go deep. I would. We'll see what they do when we return, but they're actually honestly, at this point, not looking, too shabby. So take that for what it's worth. But it's still a 60-minute game. Still a lot of football to be played. So that was the thing at the start. If they can find a groove, find some rhythm, have some momentum on their side, play for this, play for that, play to win the game, for God's sakes. Like, I'd hope everybody's sick and tired of fucking losing, especially 4 straight. Like, they started 1-2 like they did last year. But then, these past 2 games, they would have either won or lost this time last year. They lost this year. Okay, and now mid-October, here we are. Big home game. It's Tom Brady, for God's sakes. Yeah, it looks like he just rolled his ankle. He's getting his ankle taped. Yeah, JC in at center. From Alabama to Pitt, Oklahoma State at running back. Notre Dame in motion. From the 45, Pickett gets a snap, and it'll be caught. 3rd and 4, Claypool first down. So they'll move the sticks, yeah. Keep it simple. I'd still take a deep shot. I would. Open it up a little bit, but right now you get back to the run game. You run the damn ball. You run whether Najee's in there or Jalen Warren. Najee back in. Got 14, 83, and 82, top of your screen. Of course, that is George Pickens, Connor Hayward, and Steven Sims, but they run near side. And Harris still going, and then they finally bring him down. About a 3.5, 4 yard gain. So 2nd down for Pittsburgh. Yep. It starts up front, and you run the football before you throw it. But with Husky Harris, Roethlisberger to Pickett, like, the game's changed, no doubt about it. But that's why I mentioned you still got to do what's won you a lot of games in franchise history over the past 90 years. And that's running the football and playing a damn good defense. So Najee with another yard or so, be 3rd and 6, Pittsburgh. Mason Cole back in at center. So he only missed about a play or two. From the 45, 3rd and 6. And Pickett, near side, complete for 10 to Deontay Johnson, first down Steelers. Keep it going. 6:34 and counting once the clock rewinds. There it goes. Work some clock now if you can. Run the damn ball. Keep getting some first downs. Don't give them the ball back until you absolutely have to. And hopefully at that point, even with their 2 timeouts and even the 2-minute warning, times that's not going to be on their side, but you still have Tom Brady as their quarterback. So that's not saying anything then at that point. Trip stop your screen from the 36. And Jalen Warren, nowhere to go. Flag on the play. Got a fuck yeah celebration. But got a hold on the Steelers anyway, 10 yards. They'll replay it down, so if we make it 1st and 20. Who was that on? They said 60 something. Looks like it was Dawson again, 69. Yeah. They have 65 Dan Moore along with 61 Mason Cole. So it was, from center to the left side. Yeah, Dawson 2 penalties by himself. And then they have another, so 5 total penalties. Fake the give, pick it, pass a little too short. Incomplete, 2nd and 20. But, rather than have that get picked off, and he put it in the only spot his receiver could get to it. But, yeah. Incomplete in the flat near side, 2nd and 20. So, here comes a draw, I'd have to guess. Give yourself a 3rd down, and if you're lucky, 10. Maybe a little bit closer, but probably further away. Just get in field goal range if you can here. Pick it. Slant complete to the 41 for about 6. So 3rd and 14 for Pye. 3rd and 15 make it. Give him 5 yards. Yeah. Just get within another 15 yards if you can. Just get Boswell some room. You don't need to get a 1st down. 1st down's even better. They'll keep the drive alive. But like I said, just get in field goal range at this point. Kick it. Go up 10-6. And then we'll see what Tampa does before halftime. And then Pittsburgh gets the ball to begin the second half. So 3rd and 15. Pickett dumps off Zach Gentry. He'll be brought down around the 37. So make it a 47, 55, 56-yard field goal by Chris Boswell here. Fourth and 11, they'll kick it. Chris Boswell, who's damn near perfect, did miss a few last week. He's 9-13 on the year. Long from 59 was 2 weeks ago against the Jets right before halftime. And, they were lucky to have those 6 points in the first half. And then they scored 2 touchdowns, up 20-10 before they, allowed 14 unanswered and lost by 4. Gonna have a timeout, I think. Timeout, Steelers. Maybe think about it a little bit, but it's 4th and 11. It's not 4th and 1. They'll still kick it. I don't get that timeout, but all right, whatever. Once the play clock is winding down, you don't want to have a 5-yard penalty, make it a 60-yard field goal then. So 55-yard attempt here by Chris Boswell. Boos from the crowd, but coaches coach, players play. We're going to watch the game as we see it, so they can boo all they want, but it's the right decision to kick it here. You don't go for it on 4th and fucking 11, up 1. Especially against Tom Brady, for God's sakes. You kick the field goal. Especially when you have Chris Boswell, one of the best in the league, even though he has missed a few lately. Here's Boswell from 55. Kicks up. Kicks good. Oh, no. Yes. He doinked it off the bottom crossbar, and it's in. It's good. 10-6. 4:06 to play in the first half. Talk about luck of the Irish in Steel City. Everybody boozing it up. Pittsburgh got 4, 10-6 with 4:06 to play in the half. So Boswell, 55-yard field goal. Just barely good. Wasn't a double doink. It didn't hit off the top of the upright. Hit the bottom crossbar. And gets that shooter's roll, if you will. The kicker's bounce. And it's in. And up and good. So touchdown and a field goal for Pittsburgh. Tampa with 2 field goals of their own. It's been a while since Brady's been on the field. Pittsburgh took up a lot of time on that drive. and then still got 3 points out of it. So at least they scored, got a field goal out of it. So 10-6 your score here. As we near halftime, Pickett officially as Tom Brady 6 of 13 for 71 yards passing. KP is 10 of 12 for 62 yards. Has been sacked once, but he did throw his first ever career passing touchdown to Najee Harris, who has 2 catches, 7 yards, and the score on the screen pass, and also has 17 yards rushing on 5 carries. So Pittsburgh defensively has got to stop the run for 9 of 32 on the ground. So stop the run, pressure on Brady, make him force mistakes, capitalize off those, and for the first time since late last year in the first half, they have a lead as we near halftime. They had a lead in the second half 2 weeks ago and then blew it. New England, the safety that they said was a touchback with a 3-point differential was the difference then. They couldn't stop the run late. They gave up a late touchdown against the Jets because, they were throwing rather than running on offense, and then they, blew it. And for the most part, they're in every game. And, here we go again. Don't, with a 4-point lead right now, you force 2 field goals. Eventually, they'll probably break and go touchdown, but overall, just don't blow it. 1st and 10. Brady from the 25 out of the pistol, going to hand off. White, but Pittsburgh there to bring him down. Ogunjobi and looked like one of the backers make the tackle. See a replay here. Yeah, he's stepping up today for the first time all year beside Cam Hayward. It was Edmonds, 34 Edmonds coming down from safety. Yeah, Ogunjobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Been around the whole entire AFC North, to say the least. And then, Stephon Tuitt retires. They had a void. They had a hole to be filled, and they signed him. And he's stepping up. He's the one stepping up and making plays right now. So, like to see it. Need more of it, though, from him and everybody else. Big 3rd down. 3rd and 2 for Pittsburgh. Or making that Tampa with Pittsburgh hopefully to get off the field here. Get the ball back with a timeout and 2-minute warning. Trips in a bunch at the top of your screen. Tampa will probably convert if I'd have to guess. Brady looking to throw. Pass incomplete. Intended for Godwin, so incomplete. Clock stops. They'll have to punt. Tampa with a punt and 2 field goals, and now another punt. With Pittsburgh having a touchdown, a punt, and a field goal, 4.106 lead here when you're halftime. You got a timeout, 2-minute warning, and 2:52 to play, and you're getting the ball back. And offensively, the way you've looked, you're controlling the clock for the most part right now. Defense playing damn good. You could blow this game wide open right now because you're also going to get the ball to begin the second half. You get a field goal, let alone a touchdown, 13-17-6. Sims on the return to about 35, 1st and 10 Pittsburgh from there. But then, you score again early 3rd quarter, another field goal, or let alone a touchdown, 16-24-6. Pressure's on them. And then the way the defense has been playing, you still don't want to count out Brady, come back at any point in time in the game, but Pittsburgh's in a good spot right now, but at the same point in time, don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves and, still a 60-minute game. And over until it's over, until the 0-0 is on the clock. So, yeah, we'll see what it gives. Just don't turn the ball over here on this drive because you don't want to give them the ball back with, I believe they have 2 timeouts and, of course, 2-minute warning on as well. Right before halftime, good field position to, take a lead going into halftime, and they have the momentum at that point. So just continue to keep it simple on offense. You got to find a running game, though, still. It's, just absolutely mind-boggling. It blows my damn mind that they don't have a running game. So they have playmakers. They just offensively got to, and that was the talk with, got to open it up. Quarterback change. Well, and I said then, too, regardless of who's playing quarterback, you still got to have a running game. They make the change, but they still have a fucking running game. So, yeah, it's a tricky situation, to say the least. Because they're 1-4, really, when they think about it, could have 2-3 more wins. But that's not, of course, how the game's played out. The way defense playing right now, bending but not breaking, they've broke recently. Hopefully it doesn't happen again today. Hopefully they can keep this up and then just, like I said earlier, maybe they, find their groove, have momentum and rhythm, and they go on a run of some sorts. And then people are going to be like, well, where the hell did that come from? I don't think anybody's honestly going to be surprised. Maybe to an extent. People are going to say, well, it's because of Kenny Pickett. And rightfully so, but then the defense, even with as good as they are, but bad as they've been playing, but then the injuries and, just making stops now, like, it's still a team sport, and they're going to win and lose as a team one way or another. So, Pickett hands off, Najee for 2, so 2nd and 8. Tuba on the audible. So let's see if they can make a little noise. They go, hurry up. Maybe blow a big hole in the Tampa defense. No. It'll be thrown out of bounds and complete 3rd and 8. So now 2:17 to play. Big 3rd down. They'll convert. You're giving Tampa the ball back with 2 timeouts and 2 minutes to play for the most part, unless the clock's going to stop after another incompletion here. And then, right back to it, okay, well, defense out in the field because the offense can't move the damn ball, can't even take off, a minute, for God's sakes, off the clock. So, out of the gun, Pickett, Kenny's pass incomplete. 10 for Pickens, so 4th and 8. And, yeah, Tampa going to get it back with 2 timeouts and 2-minute warning. So, back to relying on the defense way too damn much. What can you do? Oh, my God. Lead Deontay Johnson on a seam. They have not gone deep today. They've kept it, 5, 10, 12, 15 yards. If that, Punts fielded around the 20. They get a couple yard return. So be 1st and 10. Tampa from, see officially where they spot the ball at. Going to have an update for what's to come on the halftime report. All right. But 1st and 10 Tampa with 2:02 to play. Brady, who's going to join Fox after he retires, did retire at the end of last year, but decided to come back. Now going to be in a personal family situation. along with attending Robert Kraft's wedding on Friday night and then flying to Pittsburgh by himself yesterday, missing team meeting and team walkthrough yesterday, even though he, of course, practiced all week. It's Tom Brady, Like, people will say that the reason why they're playing slow right now is because, well, he didn't travel with them, traveled by himself, missed stuff yesterday before he arrived, and then, playing the game today. Like, he's Tom Brady, for God's sakes, okay? Like, that's nothing. It'd be a different story if it was like, I don't know, a young, active, average quarterback, to say the least. Somebody like, I don't know, they'd be having a free-for-all if it was Aaron Rodgers, I can tell you that. Tom Brady, they let it slide. Franchises, though, like, for stuff like that, there's some leeway, Like, Kenny Pickett just had a death in the family. And, of course, well, early last week, they don't practice for the most part on Mondays and Tuesdays anyway, so, like, you're free to do what you want in your free time. From Wednesday to Sunday or Monday, though, depending on when you're playing, like, it all just depends on who you are, basically. Long story short with that, so I'll shut up about that. But, yeah, Pittsburgh allowed him, of course, to go to that. Why wouldn't they? Like, emergency situations, sometimes, they're dire, and yeah, what you got to do, but Tampa with a 2nd and 2 at the 2-minute warning. A $1:58 officially to play. Godwin in motion. Brady in the gun. And a handoff for Net. Going to be stopped right there at the marker, but he got it. That's first down, Bucs. Seems like a lot of low-scoring games this week in the NFL right now, including from Thursday night to now. Brady strip sack, ball's out, and Tampa's going to luckily recover. Yeah, they luck out. Still got 2 timeouts. I wouldn't be surprised they call in here to stop the clock with a minute and a half. But talk about that pressure off the edge. They're missing out T.J. Watt. Alex Highsmith finally steps the hell up and hits Brady from his blind side. Where's Michael Orr at when you need him? And luckily they recover. But dump off to Fournette now. They got a 3rd down. Clock's still rolling. Still got 2 timeouts. Boom. Yeah, that's a fumble. I think Charles Woodson would agree. 3rd and 11. Brady over the middle. Incomplete. So Pittsburgh still going to get the ball back here. 54 seconds and a timeout. Going to have to drive the length of the field. Just get in field goal range again for Boswell. You don't need to score, just get in field goal range. Maybe bring some pressure on the punt. But Tampa now going to punt for the 3rd time. Yeah, it would have been incomplete anyway. It was a little short. Good coverage by James Pierre, though. Yeah, Brady's not feeling it right now, it seems like. And like I said, people are going to blame him and blame their start here today because of what happened this past weekend. But that's still no excuse. Like, he's still Tom Brady. He's still going to make plays. They're just not playing good right now. And Pittsburgh's defense is. They've been able to go up the field, force 3 punts, force 2 field goals. They lead by 4. And, with a couple minutes to go there, okay, Pittsburgh can do some damage. No, nothing. Give the ball back to Tampa. Bucs can't do anything. Brady laying into his offensive line. We're so much better. If you can read his lips, making fucking plays. So somebody basically has to step up, I think he was saying. Pickett rolls out, shuffles it, it's incomplete, 2nd and 10. But no, Steelers getting the ball back after the Bucs have to, give it back to them. So Pittsburgh getting it back. Every fucking time. So much better than the way we've been fucking playing. Read his lips for the most part. Yeah. He's obviously pissed off, to say the least. Handoff Najee Harris. Doesn't seem like they're going to be in any hurry now. 3rd down unless Tampa calls a timeout. Boos from the crowd, and rightfully so on this. Yeah, Tampa going to call a timeout now. They're going to get the ball back because Pittsburgh's not going to be able to capitalize on this 3rd down and get a 1st down. You have a timeout. Hopefully you'd want to be able to move the ball down for the end zones. Last I checked, in front of you, not to the fucking sideline. Go north-south rather than this east-west bullshit. Up for 40 seconds on a timeout, you should be able to get in field goal range. But no, you can't even move the ball an inch. So, man, just frustrating. But that's why I said, though, too, it doesn't seem like they're in any hurry to do anything to begin with. So, I mean, can you blame them? Yes, but no. You have a lead, defense playing good, so big 3rd and 10 here. They'll run it, yeah. Najee Harris, about a half yard, more boos, yeah. Play calling's fucking just not right now. Abysmal, to say the least. And now Tampa going to get it back, 32 seconds, no timeouts, down 4. So who's going to have momentum going into halftime? I think Pittsburgh, honestly, didn't do much there because they didn't want to turn the ball over. They didn't want to, do anything stupid. Here comes a punt unit again, unfortunately. But they'll get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. But they, no doubt about it, could have done serious damage on their next last drive and right now, too, but nothing to show for it. So Harvin from his goal line on the punt. And it'll be fielded at the 44. Got to bring him down. Gunner on the tackle. Gunner is the gunner on the punt unit. Split screen commercial. Tampa going to have the 1st and 10. About 25 seconds, no timeouts. And Tom Brady, your quarterback. You need, fucking 20 yards to get in field goal range now? So no doubt about it, yeah, I would have liked to move the ball a little bit on that drive, but didn't seem like they're in any hurry to do so, so they punt again. And here we go. What can he do? We're not coaching or playing. We're just watching and critiquing, complaining, bitching, however you want to put it, as we always do. Yeah, 1st and 10, 23 seconds officially. From the 49. Don't give up a touchdown. Whatever you do, don't give up a touchdown. That pass is going to be caught by Godwin. They have no timeouts, so they got to get up and spike it. The 36, they'll spike it with 10 seconds. Down 4, 10-6. They got one play to get in field goal range. Even though they are right now, it'll be a long field goal. Of course, you'd like to get some, more yardage if you can. Yeah, they might take a shot, but, I mean, if I'm Brady, I'm probably going to run an out route for, 8 yards. Get the field goal a little closer than, it is right now. But you have no timeout, so if you're Tampa, yeah, you got to get out of bounds. Pittsburgh, tackle them inbounds. So we'll see what they do here. 2nd and 10. He will go deep, far side, and it'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So 4 seconds. Now they'll kick it. So Another 53, 54, 55-yard field goal. Here comes Suckup, who's already 2 for 2 today. All right, officially from 54, 4 seconds. Tampa down 4 to make it a 1-point deficit at halftime at Pittsburgh. Kicks up, kicks good. 10-9 Steelers lead at halftime over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the black and gold will also get the ball to begin the second half. So first half, 10-9 as we hit halftime. 19 total points. As mentioned, seems like a lot of low scoring here today in the National Football League. A lot of defense of stands. Defense wins championships. Old school smash mouth football. The team with the most points scored right now is Atlanta with 21. They lead by 7 against San Francisco, 21-14. The Patriots are up 10-3 at Cleveland. Jets 3-0 against the Packers. 14-10 Jags at the Colts. Got Vikings at Miami, Pittsburgh's next opponent. 7-3, but of course a quarterback situation in South Beach. Saints leading the Bengals 17-14. Ravens 10-7 on the Giants, but New York has the football as they near halftime. And then of course here with Pittsburgh leading Tampa 10-9 at the half. Got highlights from the Fox crew here at halftime with Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, Jimmy Johnson, Sean Payton. So Green Bay wearing their old school throwback unis. They trailed by 3. Atlanta's up 7. Minnesota 7-3 at Miami, and Miami down to, back to Teddy Bridgewater because Tua's out even though he cleared concussion protocol. Bridgewater did the same. He was backing up Skylar Thompson, who went down with an injury, so Bridgewater back in. Ravens, Giants, we're watching this game as the near halftime. Kenton Drake had a rushing touchdown. Pittsburgh doesn't play the Ravens until December, January. But then the Giants with a touchdown. It was 10-7. Yep. And then New England and Cleveland, Belichick in those old stomping grounds in the Rock and Roll City in Northeast Ohio. 3-3. Make it 10-3. So New England goes to Pittsburgh and Cleveland in the AFC North. They already hosted Baltimore. They'll host Cincinnati then later on in the year. Speaking of the Bengals, they're in New Orleans, down in the Bayou. There's Joe Burrow wearing his national championship jersey from LSU, playing in the Superdome for the first time since that national title game in January 2020, right before COVID hit. But the Saints are on top by 3, 17-14. Jaguars and Colts in the AFC South. Jacksonville's playing damn good. They went to Philly, lost to the Eagles in a monsoon last week, or 2 weeks ago, I might add. But they're in Indy today inside, so weather not a factor. They're up 4, 14-10. And then, of course, Steelers 10-9 on top of the Bucs at halftime, and not the Pirates, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, still to come in the NFL later on today, with the Lions, Titans, Raiders, and Texans all on byes. We'll have the Panthers at the Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, and then 2 games I plan on having coverage of, along with Monday Night Football tomorrow night. That'll be Broncos, Chargers. We'll have Bills, Chiefs at 4 o'clock. And then Sunday Night Football is, in fact, Cowboys, Eagles, and, of course, this is all after the Redskins, Washington football team, Commanders, whatever the hell you want to call them, beat the Bears on Thursday Night Football the other night, 12-7. But at halftime today, Pittsburgh Steelers lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers officially 10-9. Tom Brady is 10-21 for 110 yards passing. They have sacked him twice, which, even though only a total of 5 yards, Pittsburgh's been able to get after 12. Pressure, no turnovers yet, but Fournette 10-34 rushing. Rashard White 2 of 8 on the ground. It's been Evans and Godwin for Brady to get the ball to. Mike Evans 3-38, Godwin 2 catches 37 yards receiving. Fournette 2 of 13 out of the backfield. Gage has a catch for 11 yards as well. Brait 1 of 8, White 1 of 3. But Kenny Pickett 10 of 15, 62 yards. He's been sacked once as well, but he did throw his first ever career NFL passing touchdown to Najee Harris on the screen for 6 yards. Najee, as Pickett has 2 carries, 16 yards rushing. He has 8 carries, 20 yards on the ground, and then, that catch for a touchdown. Zach Gentry has a catch, as does George Pickens for less than 10 yards. But it's been Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool, respectively, 4 for 23 and 2 for 20 receiving for 18 and 11. Pittsburgh, it's honestly pretty balanced. You look at, first downs, total plays, the yardage with yards per play. No doubt about it, Brady's, passing better than Pickett is, but that's 23 years experience compared to a rookie quarterback. We've had 5 penalties, but look at time possession. It's split right down the middle at 15-14 with, some second differential on each side. Pittsburgh surprisingly has a better rushing attack in total yards compared to Tampa, which I didn't think I'd be saying that right now, but that is in fact true, so I'm not going to lie about it. They still have to find a running game with Najee Harris and be able to stop Leonard Fournette and continue to get after Brady, force field goals, not give up touchdowns. These 3 field goals by Tampa are touchdowns. They're down 11 right now, 21-10 at halftime, not up 1, 10-9. So they're lucky to be where they are. I feel like, we'll see what gives in the second half. But, just as long as they can find a running game, Pickett to make some plays, make stops on defenses they have, stop their run more so than not, but, stop Brady. Tom Brady's Tom Brady, for God's sakes. You got to get pressure on him. You got to force turnovers. You got to capitalize off turnovers. Like I said, the more I think about it, turnovers with no turnovers in this first half very well could be the difference in this game when it's all said and done, even though special teams right now is in fact the difference with a made extra point by Pittsburgh on their lone touchdown. Of course, they also have a field goal, and then Tampa has 3 field goals themselves. So 10-9 is your halftime score. We'll see what gives the second half, but Pickett's going to have to make plays. They're going to have to find a running game. Somebody still step up a receiver and tight end without Freiermuth. I don't care if it's Zach Gentry, Connor Hayward, let alone just Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, George Pickens, in no particular order, to make some plays as well, because the offensive line hasn't looked bad. But, just give yourself, manageable situations. Don't do anything stupid. Punt when you have to. It comes down to it. But if you can't score, hopefully you're in field goal range. Go on your special teams and bring Boswell on for a few more kicks if it comes down to it. Larry Ogunjobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi stepped up on the D-line, as have Cameron Hayward, Highsmith with a sack, strip sack off the edge. Tampa did recover, but we went back and forth there a few possessions with both the Bucs and Steelers right before halftime. But Miles Jack had a tip on a ball. Okay, we haven't seen the pigeon since. But that could have been a touchdown to Cameron Brate if he doesn't get his hand up. So, at least he made a play there, I guess. But still need to see more Miles Jack, Devin Bush, Robert Spillane, and Highsmith and Reed at linebacker. Of course, whether that's coming off the edge in a 3-4 or in a 4-3 in the middle. But even with everybody out in the secondary, from Minka Fitzpatrick to Cameron Sutton, Keller Witherspoon, Levi Wallace, Edmonds, Millette, and Pierre, along with Trey Norwood, have made plays. So hopefully it keeps up. Hopefully they continue to make stops, force field goals rather than go with touchdowns. And if so, along with having a halftime lead at home for first time since God knows when, probably Roethlisberger's final game against Cleveland last January at the end of the regular season last year for playoffs. And like I said earlier, with that number 9, for what it's worth, that number 9 was key then. Tampa's a 9.5 point favorite right now. I don't know what the live bet is, but they're a 9.5 point favorite entering. Pittsburgh has 9 wins all time against the Bucs, even though Brady's 12-3 all time. Versus Steelers, all 12 wins and all 3 losses came as a Patriot, including in the playoffs against the Black and Gold. But the differential, 12-3, is 9. So take it for what it's worth, but Chris Boswell is also wearing number 9. So this game, talk about special teams being the key right now. And the difference. Even though turnovers, I think, could come into play. This keeps up. I mean, as close as it is, I think we might not necessarily have a game-winning field goal in our hands, to say the least, but potentially a big stop or a turnover late by the Steeler defense. Whether they're still up or if they get down here in the second half early or at any point in time by the end of the game. But, Kenny Pickett, time to shine against Tom Brady, looking for his first win. What better, game to do that in? Why not now, to get them in position to just win the game. Just find a way to win. That's all I ask, okay? I'm sick of losing. I hope they are as well. They're playing like it a little bit. They're actually playing with some fucking fight today, unlike last week. Pickett with a few shots last week, no flags. He was taking no fucking prisoners. He wasn't putting up with jack shit. So, the officials will let him play today. We'll see how much this second half is going to be revolving around them. But 10-9 is where we sit at halftime. So, like I said, too, at least Pittsburgh's going to get the ball here to begin the third quarter. Can you at least work some clock? Can you run the football, please? Where's the deep shot at? They're missing Freiermuth because there's been nothing in the tight ends today. Nothing. So, Zach Gentry, Connor Hayward, talking to you, step the hell up. Pickens doesn't catch for 8 yards. They've gone to him a few more times, but nothing. And with Johnson and Claypool leading the way, they still need to make more plays too. But it starts up front. You got to move around the football and then go from there. You run to pass, pass to run, beat them deep. I don't know if they were waiting until the second half to go deep on their secondary by any means or not, but they need to go deep. They do. And if so, hopefully it works out in their favor. If not, well, maybe you flip the field one way or another, but don't even want to say that. But defensively, as the offense will be out first for Pittsburgh, just continue to play like you have, but run the damn ball here. And Kenny Pickett, now's your time to shine, kid. From the goal line on the return, out past the 20, Steven Sims, out past the 30, 35, 40, out past midfield. He's gone. Going to be brought down. Fumbles late, but down inside the 15 at the 11. There's the spark. Talk about special teams. Finally in the return game. They get a good return. Steven Sims Jr. He slowed down at the fucking 20-yard line, though. He was gone. And then they caught him. Nice cut. And then right there is when he slowed down and they caught him. You got to punch this in. You need 7. No field goal. Okay? No quick 3 and out after this. You need to score a touchdown. 1st and 10 from the 12. Empty set for Pickett. Left to right. Go to your tight end. Goes far side. Complete to Deontay Johnson. They say catch. Okay. Looked like the one ref was signaling incomplete. So 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Pickett trying to get the play called back in. He'll look at his wristband for a color and a number for the most part and read off the play to everybody in the huddle. They break the huddle. Warren in the ball game. Officially 6 yards on that pass. And catch 2nd and 4. Motion man. Steven Sims. Pickett. Back of the end zone. Incomplete. So 3rd and 4. Can you please punch this in? Don't tell me you got to settle for 3 now. After that, come on. Score a damn touchdown. Come on. Get a first down, first off. 3rd and 4. It's not goal to go yet. 3rd and 4. Get a first down. Yeah, big 3rd down. How about you go back to the screen game? How about you go to your tight end? Yeah, Fryer moves out. Go to Zach Gentry. Got 2 receivers stacked, bottom of your screen. Claypool at the top. Pickett looking this way. Back of the end zone and incomplete, a little too much. Intended for Pickens. God damn, 4th and 4. You can't even go more than 6 yards after a 90-plus yard kickoff return. And you got to settle for 3 now? Come on. You got to be kidding me, man. Really? We'll see how much this could have been 7 points turning into 3 is going to, kill him in the end. 25-yard field goal from Boswell. I swear to God if he misses. Kicks up. Kicks good. All right. 13-9 Steelers with 13:55 to play in this 3rd quarter. Get a 90-plus yard kickoff return. You can't go more than 6 yards after the fact, and you got to settle for 3. Come on, man. You got to punch that in for 6. They go 3 passes. Why aren't you running the damn football? Run the damn ball. Oh, my God. No. At least they got a field goal out of it. Rely on Boswell, but, Tampa with 3 field goals, Pittsburgh with a touchdown and 2 field goals. It's 13-9. Oh my God, dude. How in the hell does that happen? No. You gotta score. At least they were able to settle for 3, but you still gotta score on that. God damn, that sucks. That one's gonna sting if they do end up losing. We'll come back to this play. With the kickoff return to begin the second half, and then the quick 3 and out, but they kick a field goal. Son of a bitch. Like I said, we'll see how much of a difference that's going to be. And if they win, we're not going to think about it, let alone talk about it. But if they lose, could have been 7, only 3. Tampa's keeping it within reach, only down 4 again, Been down 4 at 7-3. Down 4 at 10-6. And down 4 at 13-9 when they've been down 1 on 2 different occasions as well at 7-6 and 10-9 at halftime. So just right now, what team's going to make that first big play, that first big explosive play on offense? Not in the return game there on the special teams kickoff to begin the second half. But that's the spark Pittsburgh needs, though, too. But still, offensively, what team's going to make that, first big explosive play that's going to get the offense rolling and then momentum on your side and, defense backed up on their heels, trying to make a play when the game's on the line. Yeah. He slowed down right there. And then the ball came out, he recovered. He would have been down anyway, but yeah, he just ran out of steam, and then from the 12, they can't even punch it in for 6. They got us 0 for 3. God damn it. Boswell on the kickoff. And down to the end zone touchback. So 1st and 10, Tampa from the 25, down 4. Here comes Brady and the Bucs offense. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Quinn, Luke96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Scroll down, check out Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're going to subscribe button, notification bell next to it, live right here on YouTube as well. Thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag Buccaneers, hashtag Steelers, hashtag TB for Tampa Bay versus PIT. For Pittsburgh, that's hashtag TB versus PIT. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, super likes, and super thanks. Always greatly appreciated. 1st and 10 Bucks. Hand off to Leonard Fournette. Nowhere to go. Arthur Millette on the tackle. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10, empty set for Brady. Out of the gun. Complete to Godwin. And he gets 8.5. The 3rd and short for Tampa. Third and a long one for Tampa. Godwin in motion. They'll hand off Leonard Fournette. He gets the first down. And to the 39 he goes. 1st and 10 Bucks. As we're going to begin the second half as well with the Ravens and Giants as they come out of halftime. First and 10 from the 39. Toss. And then Devin Bush ends up wrapping them up along with, looked like Spillane. Somebody else, Trey Norwood. So 2nd and 7. Rashard White in at tailback for Tampa. 2nd and 7 from 42. Brady, as Hayward gets to him, it's going to be complete to Godwin with a 30 in triple coverage. Jesus Christ. Millette, Edmonds, and someone else again. Yeah, Trey Norwood. So good or bad, take it for what it's worth. They give him a big play. Brady got hit too, no flag. So from the 30, handoff back to Fournette. Jameer Jones makes the tackle. So he's going to step up. Linebacker, it seems like. Got a whistle with a flag. Might be coming back for a hold. Damn, that hurt, somebody said. Holding on the Steeler defense. 5 yards, automatic first down. God damn it. Who the hell was that on? Fouls on Alu. So from the 23, 1st and 10, Tampa. Handoff for net, and Spillane going to end up bringing them down after about 8-9 yard pickup, though. So there's that. Yeah, like I said, if those 3 field goals are touchdowns, they're up. Looking to extend their lead, not take the lead now, in which they have not led yet today. Tampa's trailed for a good 35 minutes. 2nd and 2. And Brady's pass intended for Cade Otton. It's incomplete. Yeah, Robert Spillane on the coverage steps up and makes a play. Incomplete, 3rd and 2. And yeah, Spillane got his hand up. 41 and 51 get their hands up in the red zone as Brady looks for his tight ends, and it falls incomplete again. So 3rd and 2, 10 minutes on the dot to play in the 3rd quarter. Force another field goal. Handoff for net. He'll get the 1st down. And now they got 8 shots to punch it in. Got a 1st and 10, about the 12. Yeah, that's 1st down. And now Larry Ogunjobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi's hurt. That sucks. Wormley's going to have to step up. Yeah, you still have Hayward and Alulu, but Marvin Leal's on IR. They've had to bring a few players out the practice squad for this game because of all the injuries on defense. Which, all right, you got to do what you got to do, but it's also a shame. It's like they just got hit by the injury bug at the wrong damn time. And then, you're not winning games. You've been losing games. And, don't want to say it, but how much worse can it get for the Steelers? So, yeah, there's that. But we'll move on. We'll see what gives here. But 1st and 10, Tampa. Down 4, looking to take their first lead. Got 3 field goals to show for 9 points, but no touchdowns yet, even though they come close. So, see about this Steeler defense holding down the fort and making them hopefully settle for another field goal.
When we were a motorized bicycle, they said that's fine for the streets, but you'll never get this. They said motorcycles are one, but you can't make cars. You're a car company, but you won't go Formula One or Tiger. Well, you'll never compete off road. What about when there isn't no gas? They've challenged us to do a lot of things. What will we do next? The power of dreams.
Recognition is something important taken from him, so Wendy's is returning it. We have asked you to for a limited time.
Choose Wendy's Pizza Hut Cheeseburger. There's one thing everyone wants. The all-new incredible new iPhone 14 Pro. Now, T-Mobile and T-Mobile gives you Apple TV Plus included. Get iPhone 14 Pro from us.
First and 10, Tampa coming back from injury timeout. And they run an end around to Godwin, but then a late whistle, got a flag on the play. They blow the play dead, so that play is not going to count. Got a false start in the Bucs. 5 yards. I'll replay down, make it 1st and 15. This defense needs to step the hell up. Another stop. From the 18. Brady, complete. Russell Gage, 2nd and about 5. Brait got a motion, but stick near side. Brady gets hit as he throws it. It's incomplete. Got a flag on the play. Probably a defensive hold. Yep. So, 2nd and 5. Make another automatic 1st down. So, 1st and goal. God damn it. Yeah, that's probably a good call. What can you do? 1st and goal. Tampa now. All going to be around the 4.5, 5 yard line. Looking to take their first lead. And Brady will fake the give. And he'll roll out and then just throw it in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Another flag on the play. Swear to God, this is another defensive hold. Brady, I mean, he could have ran a bootleg, tuck it and running, but just waited and then nobody's open. Another flag on the play, though. What do we got? Ineligible, legal man downfield, 5 yards, so back to the 9 yard line they go, 1st and goal. Yeah. Like, they had wide ass open on the right, but nobody's there. So 1st and goal, Tampa. Brady going to hand off for net, and then Edmonds brings them down the backfield, and then Hayward and someone else once again. They cut the camera a little too quick. Make the tackle after the fact, even though he's already down. So yeah, he's down. Yeah, he's down right there. So 2 yard loss, 2nd goal from the 11. Brady, far side on a fade. It's incomplete. 10 for Gage. Even if he would have caught it, he would have been out of bounds. It's incomplete. He dropped it. 3rd and goal from the 11. Yeah, and he takes down Brady on a hit, too. No late hit roughing the passer on that. 3rd and goal of Tampa from the 11. Force a field goal. Force a kick. Trip stop. Out of the gun. Brait by his lonesome near side. Fournette to Brady's left in the backfield. And then steps up in the end zone. It's caught, but they say incomplete. Russell Gage has the football. James Pierre on the coverage. You're going to have to see a replay of that. It's incomplete. 4th and goal. And they'll have to kick it again. Here's close look. Yeah, that ball hit the ground. That's incomplete. That's a good call. Yeah, ref stand right there. And then he caught it with his knees, but clearly incomplete way before him. So incomplete, 4th and goal. And Tampa going to have to settle for another field goal. 29-yard attempt. Already 3 for 3 today. Pittsburgh jumps off sides again. God damn it. And what was it? 4th and 11. Okay. Yeah. So they'll still have to kick it from 24 yards. It's the second fucking time, though, they've jumped off sides from the left side. What the hell? 5 yards. Yeah. Thank you. So we got a bug, but I'll digress. 7:27 to play in the third quarter. They jump off sides again. Still 4th down. They'll still have to kick it. So 24-yard field goal attempt here. And he's made from on 3 different occasions already today. This kick up. This kick is also good. So suck up gets Tampa back down 1. 13-12 Steelers on top of the Buccaneers. They'll get the ball back when we return with 7:24 to play in the third quarter. Brady, 13 of 27, $156. Fournette has 52 yards rushing on 17 carries. Godwin leads the team in receiving, 474, followed by Evans, 3 of 38. Pittsburgh on the flip side. Kenny Pickett's 11 of 18, 67 yards passing and a touchdown. Najee Harris, 20 yards on 8 carries, excuse me. But then the receivers, 67 yards passing, compared to what Brady has. Or just in general, 67 yards to your receivers ain't much when 7 catches for 48 yards, about 20 less of what you have total, or to 2 guys in Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. Somebody step up. Pickens, one of these tight ends without Freiermuth. Steven Sims had a big return, but they still had for 3. They could be up 17-12 right now. But they're up 13-12, so it is what it is. But offensively, they still got to be able to find a damn running game, run the damn ball. You don't need to be throwing every single play. You want to be balanced. You want to work some clock. You have a lead. You've had a lead the whole entire game. Don't blow it. This defense here playing stout. Like I said, if they continue to play good defense here today, potentially find a running game to stop the run, stop Brady. I was coming into the game today. They should be all right. But as the game has progressed, it's still the same because of how even we are across the board with these two teams right now on a 1-point lead. 13-12 Steelers on top of the Bucs if you're just now tuning in. But I still think it's going to be a turnover and another special teams play. Potentially a game-winning field goal to decide the outcome of this game here today. So we'll see what it gives. But Pittsburgh getting it back as Tampa's on to kickoff. Kneel down in the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh from the 25. '72 is eligible for Pittsburgh. That is Trent Scott. He's on the far side. Pickett gets an extra blocker, goes deep. Very wobbly, but it's caught by Deontay Johnson around midfield, 1st and 10 Pittsburgh. So there's your deep shot. He gets drilled as he gets rid of it. A little slow to get up, but he seems to be okay. Yeah, very wobbly football. Flag on the play, maybe a late hit, roughing the passer. They threw the flag on that before he even got fucking hit. Very loud Kenny chants. Holding on the Steelers, 10 yards. Come on. Are you fucking kidding me? Who the hell was that on? As Trubisky starts to warm up. Oh, God. Pickett going to have to come out. Oh, shit. Well, run the football for Trubisky. And even when he was in, he didn't look that bad, okay? But Pickett was the spark they needed. Yeah, he gets drilled. They throw the hold, but then not a late hit on that. When the late hit roughing the passer's been the big foul lately. That one's more of a late hit than the one they threw earlier on him. Hopefully Pickett's okay. They'll check him out, but Mitch Trubisky going to be in the ball game now for the Steelers. 1st and 20 after the 10-yard hold. Back at the 15-yard line. Looking to throw. And Trubisky dumps it off. It's complete and then dropped. 10 for Najee Harris. Pickett going into the 10. They'll check him out probably for a concussion. Got an update on CBS as the Ravens lead the Giants 13-7. The Jets score the first touchdown at Green Bay. They lead 10-3 over the Packers in the third quarter. So 2nd and 20 following incompletion. Trubisky looking to throw. It's complete to Pickens for 5 to the 20. So got a 3rd and 15. God damn. Okay, so he goes down. Trubisky comes in. If he's able to come back in, just wait until you hear that roar. Hopefully this defense can hold it till the time hopefully comes. But yeah, well, they went deep on the hold penalty that he got hit on and got taken out of the game on. Trubisky pass complete. Claypool over the middle. 1st down Steelers on a 16-yard passing catch. Nice reception by Claypool. 1st down Steelers. So they move the sticks. Can you please run the football now? Can you please rock the Naj and run 22 Najee Harris? Run the damn fucking football. Jesus Christ, you have a lead in the second half at home with a backup quarterback now. Should have been doing it with Pickett to begin with. Warren in the ball game. Run the damn ball. Run and draw it. Talk about a bulldozer. Jalen Warren, hopefully they give it to him here. 1st and 10 from the 36. Yep, they run and draw. And he'll spin and get about a yard. 2nd and 9. He, waited for the play to unfold. Typical draw, but he did give it to him a little late because then Tampa's right there to bring him down. But that's how a draw play works, though. So, it is what it is. Second and 9, Pittsburgh trips in a bunch, empty set near side. Trubisky far side, complete to Connor Hayward for 3 yards. Be 3rd and 6, 4:46 and counting to play in this third quarter. You got to keep this drive going. You got to get another 1st down here. Third and 5 officially. They haven't been able to convert on 3rd down, but they almost did there, but they didn't. Pass intended for Deontay Johnson. It falls incomplete. Just good coverage. incomplete fourth down, and Pittsburgh going to have to punt. So this defense going to have to win them the game now. Because Trubisky got, one first down, 2 first downs on that. But, yeah, pass incomplete. So here comes Harvin on the punt again. Got another update on CBS. Anytime the Steelers are on CBS, we never get an update. Let alone we don't get an update when they're on Fox either. Yet when, the other network has the other game on at 1 o'clock that I'm watching, more updates. The Bengals with a touchdown at New Orleans. So, seems like we got a lot of good, close games. Whether they were low scoring, some teams are starting to score now. A lot of good week 6 NFL football, it seems like, here today. And we still got more to come, of course. But in the meantime, Pittsburgh punts. Tampa getting it back down 1 still, 13-12. But, yeah, Steelers defense. Hayward. Highsmith. Somebody in the middle. Pierre's played good today, as has Arthur Millette. Terrell Edmonds, Trey Norwood, but Larry Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ogunjobi has been the one getting to Brady the most. Just going to force pressure. Force turnover. Stop the run. Hopefully Kenny Pickett comes back in the ballgame. So, yeah, they have their ass backwards. They're throwing flags for penalties now. It seems like that aren't penalties when they should be throwing flags that are penalties, but they're not throwing it. And it is what it is. They're letting them play, but at the same point in time, when they're supposed to be calling it, they're not. And then when they don't need to, they are. If that makes any sense. So if there's a penalty called, if it's not, don't let them play. Officials, it seems to me they're scared. And it's harder than it looks, no doubt about it. But it's like, come on, man. But I'll leave it at that. 1st and 10, Tampa, when we return.
Beautiful day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the Steelers up 13-12. They're 0-2 at home so far this year. They haven't started the season 0-3 in front of these fans.
Wow. That's hard to believe. 1st and 10, White on the give, breaks a couple tackles, gets 3 yards before being brought down. Got a flag on the play as well. Probably a hold, 10 yards, we put it down, 1st and 20. But yeah, that's a stat I didn't know. The Steelers haven't started 0-3 at home since 1986. Already lost to the Patriots and Jets. One team Brady used to play for, one team Brady used to beat all the time. Now we're playing Brady and the Bucs today, so 3rd time's a charm. We'll see. It'll be the final Steeler home game for about a month, too. So they go on the road the next 2 weeks and then a bye week. And then 2 before Thanksgiving, and then on the road again for 2, and then, 1 home, 1 away. They'll flip-flop down the stretch then the rest of the way. 1st and 17, back at the 7, handoff. White gets about 5 to the 12, be 2nd down, and 12 from there. Yeah, they've made stops. No doubt about it. I don't know why they haven't been able to play like this, consistently, from the start of the season to this point until now, but here we are. Second and 13, officially Brate on the pass. Caught at the 18, a little slow to get up, and take an injury timeout. Be third down, Tampa. Yeah, he got hurt, against Kansas City a couple weeks ago on Sunday night? Went back in and then was out last week. Yeah, gets hurt again. Holding his head. The league in general's, trying to do something about all, these injuries, talk about player safety and all that bullshit. Like, it's football. You know you're going to get hit, so just play through it. But it's not also 1970 anymore, so is what it is. I mean, if you have a concussion, you have a concussion. If you have a broken foot, you have a broken foot. You blow your knee out, well, you're done for the year. Of course, you never want to see anybody get hurt, but we'll see what happens with, So I thought about this past week, too. I remember it was like 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. There was a lot of roughing the passer calls in the NFL early in the year, and then it simmered down, even though they're still calling them. Well, here we go again, and it's all because of what happened to Tua, with that hit. But it's, one, the NFL's fault to begin with. They allowed him to go back in and play. They've since fired, of course, that doctor. But, so he was the scapegoat. But still, man, you don't need to be, calling questionable fouls as if it were a penalty on every play just because of that now. Like, it's called common sense. And hopefully you can be able to, see what's right in front of you. I get, in live time, yes, it's harder than it looks, but still, it's like when they make this call and it's clearly not, but then they'll call something, as they're going to have to bring the card on for O.J. Howard. Hopefully he's okay. He was moving as he went down on the ground, but yeah. Be 3rd and 7 for Tampa after all this. 3:13 to play in the third quarter. But yeah, you hate to see it to begin with. But, yeah, because they're scared. They don't want to get sued. But these players are still going to play through it, at the end of the day anyway, whether they're telling the truth about it or not. But like, they're throwing flags for, stuff that's not a penalty. And it looks like they'll take another commercial break. Yeah. All right, so an extended break with an injury. Go back to the action once again here in a second, but they're either throwing a flag for a clear penalty, or they're throwing a flag for, something that could be, but, for the most part isn't, but it might be. Like, everybody's different. Each official's different. They're going to, throw the flag if they thought it was a foul. But then sometimes they'll pick it up, after they, huddle up and talk it over. But still, it's like, it's a penalty call, and if it's not, don't let them play. There's no flag on that. He just took a big hit as he, got tackled and went to the ground. And it really wasn't even that big of a hit. So, be 3rd and 7 Tampa when we return, but got an injury timeout still here. And talk about Tampa's injury at the start. Missing Rob Gronkowski as well, who retired. just, losing Cameron Brate. They have Keeft and Kate Otten out tight end for Brady to throw the ball to. When it's been all Godwin and Evans today, and Fournette running the football. Like, they still need somebody to step up on offense for themselves. But the way the Steelers defense has been playing, hopefully they continue to get stops. So we'll see what it gives, but that's where we sit at. Got about 18 minutes of football to be played, 18-13 officially. So, no war going on, but this will be a fight to the death, fight to the finish type of ball game. So, yeah, we'll see what it gives, but still have the stretcher and carted out for him as the Buccaneers have huddled up around him. And he's moving. He's, clearly okay. He just got his bell rung, it looked like. Got knocked the hell out. And so they're going to have to cart him off because he didn't get up and he wasn't, really moving that much, even though he was. So, yeah, hopefully he's okay. But we got a delay in today's game because of the injury. Are they going to take his face mask off his helmet? As round of applause. There's more pigeons in the one end zone, as there must be a nest somewhere nearby. The birds are taking over today's Buccaneers-Steelers game. We'll see who uses this as momentum. Because we're, in the meantime, after this, going to still get back to playing football. And then they'll take another commercial break. Yeah, Miles Jack with a tackle. Yeah, nothing dirty, as they said. Just, big hit, clean tackle. And he just, went down wrong. He's moving, he's fine, but they're going to have to cart him off. So 3 commercial breaks because of this. But, with that delay, yeah, we'll see, like I said, who uses this to their advantage. Because we're still going to get back to playing football here in a minute. Whether that's, Tampa on 3rd and 7 to, convert, get a first down, try to get themselves their first lead here today. Or does, Pittsburgh's defense get after Brady, get a sack, get a turnover of some sorts. Crowd's going to be hot, as they always are for a Steeler home game. Let alone on the road, because Steeler Nation always travels extremely well, so expect a lot in Miami next Sunday night, along with, especially in Philly in 2 weeks' time, at the link. But, yeah, they take his face mask off. He still has his helmet on, but face mask off. He gives the thumbs up as they cart him off. So we're going to get back to playing football now. Be 3rd and 7 for Tampa. Down 1. It is 13-12 with 3:13 to play in the third quarter. Here we go. After the injury, here we go. Scotty Miller in motion. And Brady pass caught, but then Miles Jack and Spillane bring him down a yard short. So 4th and 1, and Tampa's going to have to punt. They're not going to go for that, no. Not in their own territory. So 4th and 1. As Kenny Pickett officially has a head injury, as Pittsburgh's evaluating him for a possible concussion, as Trubisky is still in at quarterback. But 4th and 1, Tampa on a punt. We'll see about this next offensive drive, who will be in at quarterback for the Steelers. Sims on the return from the 24. And out past the 40, 45 to the 47. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh from there. Find a running game, please. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. Yeah, Pickett's hurt for the time being. Hopefully he's okay. And Pickett's update is still in the locker room. Yeah, concussion, questionable to return. Trubisky's still in the quarterback. All right. 1st and 10. Run the damn ball, please. Hayward in motion. 1st and 10 from 48 for the Steelers. They'll fake the give. Go deep, pump fake. Trubisky goes down the sack. God damn it. And they only have 2 quarterbacks dressed today. It's Pickett and Trubisky. Mason Rudolph is out inactive. God damn. Carl Nassib on the sack, former Nittany Lion. Just pushes Trubisky to the ground. Doesn't even tackle him. Just pushes him down and he falls. Like, talk about 2 type of quarterbacks Pittsburgh has right now. Like, Trubisky weak, Pickett fighting back with balls to the wall. Ain't putting up with shit. From the 42, 2nd and 16, complete to Claypool out past midfield. Get to the 47, so gonna have about a 3rd and 5 here with 1-1-1 to play in this 3rd quarter. Yeah. So it's the type of game for the Steelers today that they get out to an early lead and they're going to hold on to win. Long story short. Look at the back graphic. Yeah. 1 drive, 7 points. Last 6 drives, 6 points total. 3rd and 5, under a minute to play in this 3rd quarter. 13-12, Pittsburgh. Trubisky. God damn it. 10 for Hayward and Warren, looked like. So 4th and 5, they'll punt. And it was deflected. That's why, the ball was wobbly. You got to fucking pump fake, dude, or, boot scoot and boogie your way around, the backfield and try to make a play out of it. But here comes Harvin on to punt again. Harvin gets the punt up and away. And it'll bounce out of bounds around the 10-15 yard line. We'll see where they spot it. And he's still going to the 17, 1st and 10. Bucks from there as they promote what's to come next week on Fox. CBS doing the same. Next Sunday, I'll have live watch-along reactions over on YouTube of just Steelers-Dolphins on Sunday Football. And we're going to still try to do a triple header today with this game. Maybe just the second half, depending on when this game gets over with. And then when we sign off after a recap, maybe just the second half of Bills-Chiefs. And then also Sunday Night Football later on. So, we'll see here. But that'll do it in the meantime right now for this 3rd quarter of play. Tampa going to have a 2nd and 7 to begin the 4th. Pittsburgh is up 1 as we have 15 minutes to play. 1 more quarter. The standard is standard. Pittsburgh needs a little bit of a renegade on defense. Take Brady to the gallows and see if the hangman's still standing on or not. But yeah, at the end of 3, 13-12 Pittsburgh. Trubisky 4-7, 36 yards passing, and relief of Pickett, who's currently out right now, questionable return with a injury, head injury with a concussion. 11 of 18, 67 yards passing and a touchdown. They have no running game, though, to help out either quarterback. I knew this would happen. I told you then, I don't know if anybody believed me, but hopefully you do now. that regardless if they made quarterback change, and it's good that they did because Pickett was the spark they needed, but you still got to have a running game to help them out. They still don't have a running game regardless of who the quarterback is. Najee Harris, 8 carries, 20 yards rushing. And then Claypool leads the team in receiving with 4 catches, 47 yards. Deontay Johnson, 5 of 28. Pickens has 2 catches, 13 yards. Brady, 15 of 29, 168 yards in the air, with 74 of those to Godwin, 38 to Evans, 14 to Brady, who's going to be out. Fournette, 13 out of the backfield. Russell Gage also has 2 catches, 20 yards as well. But as Fournette has 18 carries, 55 yards rushing, they still only have 2 sacks on Tom Brady. So they didn't get to him at all in that third quarter. If they did, they didn't sack him. He's still got to force pressure. He's still got to, try to bring him down, stop the run. Talked about turnovers. We have yet to have one by either team. And it'll be 2nd and 7 for Brady and the Bucs offense when we return. So we'll see if the Steeler defense can get the hell off the field. We'll go from there after that. So, that being said, once again, it is 13-12. Steelers on top of the 2 years ago defending Super Bowl 55 champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are a totally different team since then. They lost in the playoffs this past year to the eventual defending now new Super Bowl champion LA Rams, and now here we are in 2022. 15 minutes to play this Sunday, October the 16th afternoon. Steelers up 1, 13-12 as we begin the fourth quarter. Godwin in motion. 2nd and 7, Brady pass complete. But then Auten gonna get about 7 or about 5, maybe 6, be short. 3rd and about 1.5 yards too. Big 3rd down. Third and 1 officially. Go on defense. Got a penalty. 12 on defense. Oh, timeout. Steelers with timeout because they had 12 on defense. All right. Yeah. On 3rd and 1, 5 yards, 1st down, yeah. So they call timeout. Yep.
Against the Bills last week, and only 2 today, so they are making Tampa Bay go the long, hard road, and that's got them into the red zone. They haven't been able to get those extra 4 points on those occasions, so they've been able to keep it into a close game. Great special teams performance by Stevenson today.
3rd and 1 handoff for Net. The Pigeons are still on the field, but Wormley, Hayward, and the rest of the Steeler front 7 make the tackle. And 4th and 1, 4th and 2, Tampa's going to have to punt. So the defense makes a stop when they need to. And we went from one pigeon to about 50 now flying over the field for whatever reason. Got an update. Jets 24-10 at Green Bay. Wow. The Jets came to Pittsburgh and won. Going to Green Bay and winning. Of course, the Giants beat the Packers in London last week. So, yeah, Wormley and Edmonds make the tackle on 3rd and short. They punt. Pittsburgh gets the ball back. 1st and 10, 13:38 to play. Up 1, 13-12. So, can you please run the football? Trubisky, whatever you do, don't turn it over. I mean, you score a touchdown, you go up 8, pressure's on Brady and the Bucs to score and go for 2 to tie it. You know, field goal though, okay, you're back up 4, but you've been up 4 numerous times. Then the pressure is back on Tampa again, to score. But then when they need to, they've had to settle for 3. But then it comes down to it. Maybe they do eventually score them at that point, which of course you don't want as a Steeler fan. Going to be a down to the wire finish. I mean, you could take a deep shot if it comes down to it. But you got to work some clock. You got to run the football. Something you need to start beating your opponents at with how you've been getting beat recently. With not being able to stop the run and work clock. Because that's how you lost against the Patriots. That's how you ended up losing against the Browns, along with the Jets. Even though you should have been running when you were throwing. Don't turn it over right now, okay? Last week, once again, after they beat Cincinnati week 1 in overtime, at Buffalo last Sunday, could have been a hell of a lot closer than it actually was, but it wasn't. That was then, though. This is now. They have a 1-point lead with 13:38 to play, 13-12 against the Buccaneers. Defense has played extremely well. Offense now. Run the damn ball, please. Run the football. And Zach Gentry doesn't have a catch yet. So maybe you finally go to your tight ends and him and Connor Hayward. I'd watch out for George Pickens, too, because it's beyond Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool for the most part. Pickens has 2 catches, 13 yards, but I'd go to Pickens. I'd watch out for him. Even Jalen Warren, he gets in the ball game, maybe makes a play or 2. Yeah, what the fuck's with all these pigeons on the field? At least they're in the end zone. They're scoring today when neither of these teams are. From the 29, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. They'll hand off. Trubisky to Najee Harris. And about a yard, maybe 2 if he's lucky. 2nd and 8.
Well, you can see Mike loves playing with him. I mean, this is just great sideline to sideline linebacker play. I mean, from the inside position, you get all the way out there. And it's so hard. There's so many big bodies out there. You're navigating your way through this. Such a good job. And then you get there, you got to still make the tackle.
2nd and 8. And Trubisky going to run an end around. Nope, nowhere to go for Steven Sims. Loss and 3rd and long. At least they're running the football and they're working clock. Both teams had 3 timeouts before Pittsburgh had to burn one for a 3rd and 1 with 12 on defense, and they get off the field. They get the ball back here, but got a 3rd and long themselves now. Tampa still has 3 timeouts. 2-minute warning to come, but at least they're working some clock. But, 3rd and long here. You could go deep. They'll probably run a fucking draw, though. Go to your tight end over the middle. 3rd and 13. You need 14 yards to get a 1st down. Trubisky. It'll be caught. George Pickens, 1st down, Pittsburgh. 15-yard reception. What I say? What did I just say about George Pickens? Watch out for him on this drive. They go to him. 1st down, Pittsburgh. Now run the football. Work this clock. You don't snap it until about 11:35 on the clock. Nice comeback. That Claypool over the middle a little bit, too. Work the fucking clock. Jesus Christ. Don't be snapping with 20 seconds on the play clock. Hand off Harris. Couple yards. Got an update. What do we got? The Jet touchdown we just saw on CBS. They're up 24-10 at Green Bay. Who had the fucking Jets and the Giants, with 4 wins right now? 2nd and 5. Another handoff. Nowhere to go. Loss of a yard. And they're not taking any time off the damn clock doing this. Jesus Christ. Take it down to the Final few seconds on the play clock before you snap it. Make them call their timeouts. Why are you going fucking hurry up right now? Well, snap it now. That's 12 on defense. That's a penalty. 3rd and 6, got a free play. Connor Hayward down the middle. These tight ends need to step up. Connor Hayward. And down inside the 15, he goes to the 11. So decline the 12 on defense. 1st down, Steelers inside the red zone. Run the fucking football now, please. Punch it in. You got to score a touchdown. So the hurry up worked. They caught him off guard on defense, but they still need to work clock. Connor Hayward. Both are going to be declined. Yeah, 12 on defense and offside. Yeah, 1st down. Both penalties are declined. 1st down, Steelers at the 11. Run the damn football, please. What the fuck, Fox? What the hell, Fox? God damn it. Of course, the fucking TV has to act up. What the fuck? Give me 1 second. I'll pull this up on TV2 and turn off CBS. What in the hell? I don't know why it's been doing that recently. So 1st and 10 from the 11. They'll run a wildcat. Najee Harris, 22 to the 6 for 5. All right. Yep, no doubt about it. Now you got to punch it in. So we didn't miss anything, but run it again. I don't mind that wildcat, and you got positive yardage out of it. Run it again. 10-12 and counting to play. Out of the gun. And Trubisky looking to throw. In the end zone, caught. Touchdown, Claypool. Touchdown, Steelers. Kick the extra point. Go up 8. To 12. I mean, you could go for 2. Make it a 9-point game. 2 possessions. Pressure's on them then. Under 10 to play. They'd have to score twice. And then if you don't get it, you're still up 7. But you kick the extra point and go up 8. And then they need a touchdown. And a 2-point to tie it. So 20-12. The Pigeons are just following the Steelers all over the place. I don't know what the hell is up unless they planted seed on the fucking field and they don't have anywhere else to go for whatever reason. Trubisky with a passing touchdown to Chase Claypool. 20-12 Steelers. So I guess we're gonna get on TikTok and cue Walker Hayes, but it wasn't fancy like by any means. It wasn't pretty. But they scored. Okay. Back to it on normal TV. I don't know why that went out for whatever reason, but it did. It's the 2nd time this has happened. I don't know if it's with the TV or the box, but hey, last time that happened, they won in overtime week 1 at Cincinnati. So they've lost 4 in a row. I guess I need to have that happen every Steeler game at this point. No, but we're going to also turn back on CBS on TV2 and see what's going on with the Ravens and Giants. As Baltimore was up. In the meantime, we'll also take a look around the rest of the NFL. As Trubisky now 7-10, 101 yards passing and a touchdown. That Chase Claypool who has 5 catches, 53 yards receiving, and the score. So Pittsburgh has 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals for their 20 points. Tampa with 4 field goals for their 12 total points. 20-12 with 9:55 to play. And oh mama. Pickett's now officially out with a concussion, they say. Or is he still questionable to return? I mean, at this point, well, I mean, we'll see. Just hopefully he's good to go for, the next couple games. And the rest of the year and the rest of his career, for that matter. So return. A return out past the 25 to the 27, 1st and 10, Tampa. Sorry for the technical difficulty with the buffer disconnect and reconnect, but they were on the screen near side. Leonard Fournette didn't miss anything anyway as they were walking the line. And Fournette only about a yard. 2nd and 9. Now, this is when the Steeler defense needs to bring the steel curtain down, bring the hammer down on their ass. Just find a way to hold on to this win. Yeah, talk about, 2 different games. 2 totally different, teams that you've played, but also 2 different teams that your own team's showing up to play as. Talk about, personality. But 1st and 10, Tampa got an injured Steeler. That is 51, Miles Jack. So hopefully he's okay. But, yeah, 9:06 to play. Tampa down 8, 3 timeouts. 2-minute warning to come, but they got a 1st and 10 here. Injured Steeler defender. In the meantime, across the league, as Jack will walk off, maybe they'll make Tampa hit the road. Sitting at 3-3, Pittsburgh gets 2-4. If that's the thing, when TJ Watt comes back, if they can be sitting, in a good spot, record-wise, even with these 4 straight losses after 1-0 start, you go on a run here, maybe get him back, watch out. Season ain't over, just yet. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So, 1st and 10, a couple yard run, another update. Yeah, Ravens, Giants, New York had scored. It's 20-17, and Baltimore has the ball, 1st down. That pass complete to Mike Evans. Be 3rd and about 4, maybe 5. But the Falcons are up 28-14 on the 49ers. Patriots 24-9 at Cleveland. Jets beating the Packers 24-10. Got a good one in Indy. Jacksonville by 1, 27-26. Minnesota's beating Miami 16-10. New Orleans 26-24 over Cincinnati with the Bengals having the football 2 minutes to play. Minnesota just scored, make that 22-10 Vikings over the Dolphins. Pittsburgh's next opponent. Baltimore, as mentioned, yes, 2017 at New York, and then here we sit at 20-12 with Pittsburgh on top of Tampa, but Tampa picking up another 1st down, and then about an 8-yard gain there, 2nd and short, but got a flag on the play.
Was the 2nd catch today for the rookie first-round pick.
2 fouls on the Steeler defense, too many, and then offside again. Both are going to be declined. It'll be 2nd and 2 for Tampa. God damn it. Second and 1, make it officially. Tampa going to hand off. White, and I don't think he got it. Be 3rd and inches. They might have to bring Chain Gang out for a measurement. 3rd down for Tampa. 3rd and 1 still. No gain on the play. Brady quarterback sneak, and he ain't going to get it. Nowhere to go. He's still trying to push, but they're holding him back, and yeah, nowhere to go. 4th down, and Tampa, 4th and short, inside the 30. 6 minutes to play, 3 timeouts. You could go for it. We'll see what they do. I'd be kicking it, though. I'd take the points. Offense going to stay out. They're going to go for it. Yeah, biggest play of the game right now. He's just going to try to draw him off sides, I bet. 4th and 1. No, they will run a place. Toss near side for net. They get a 1st down. All right, down to the 22 on a pickup of 7. 6-1-9 and counting to play. 1st and 10, Tampa again. And now flag, false start, 5 yards, replay down, 1st and 15. Brady out of the gun, dump off to Fournette, Pierre, and Reed. Malik Reed make the tackle. James Pierre's played good back end today with no Minka, no Sutton, no Witherspoon or Wallace. Even Arthur Millette, Terrell Edmonds back from injury. Trey Norwood once again making some plays, but I think it's been James Pierre for the most part. 2nd and 11 after 4-yard gain. Brady pump fakes. Hayward chasing him down. It'll be deflected, incomplete, almost picked off by Malik Reed. It falls incomplete, though. 3rd and 11 for Tampa. And Brady on a rollout. And 10 for Godwin. Pierre hits him, but is almost picked off. And the pigeons are still flying around. Must be something in the air for the Steelers and the Pigeons to win today. James Pierre injured. Because the Pigeons are winning. The one that we had earlier brought a whole clan. They're not doing anything about it. And Pittsburgh's, up 8. Tampa's not doing anything about it, so big 3rd down again, 5:34 to play. From the 23. Brady's pass complete to Godwin. Going to be short, though. 4th and 1 at the 13. They're going to go for it again or kick it now? They're going to go for it again. They've already converted on 4th and 1 on this drive. That's a 4th and a long one. That's 4th and 2. Here we go. Screen, complete, White, 1st down, Bucks. So 2 4th and 1 conversions on this very drive, and Tampa's needing a touchdown, 2-point tie this game with under 5 to play. Come on, defense. Cam Hayward, Highsmith, Devin Bush, Spillane, Jameer Jones. How about Larry Obi-Wan Kenobi, Obajobi? Meantime, Fournette gets a dump off and walks in the end zone, touchdown Bucks, so they can't get a stop. They don't get off the field, and Tampa's going to have to go for 2 now to tie this game up at 20. God damn. And Trubisky's in at quarterback still. Motherfucker. Yeah, good blocks and, missed tackle and boom into the end zone. God damn. Yeah, 2-point play for Tampa to tie it at 20 from the 2. Godwin in motion. Brady over the middle, deflected. Devin fucking Bush when the game's on the line. Went down this very weekend with a torn ACL 2 years ago. Hasn't been the same since. Intended for Godwin, who's in motion. Devin Bush deflects it. 2 points, no good. It's 20-18 Steelers. Now this offense with a lead, under 5 to play. Tampa's got 3 timeouts. Make them use them. You still got 2-minute warning. You got 2 timeouts of your own. But run the football. Run Najee Harris. Run the damn ball, please. Can't say it much more. Don't turn it over, whatever you do, but run the fucking football. Atlanta beat the 49ers. So this is bonus coverage for that game. We had a little bit of delay there towards the end of the third quarter, so, still about 5 minutes to play. We're running right on time, though, it seems like. Almost 4 o'clock here. That game was really quick, though, less than 3 hours. Devin Bush. Devin Bush with the deflection. Two points, no good. 20-18 Steelers. Run the football. Work clock. Make them call their timeouts. Maybe this is when you also want to take your deep shot, though. On a second or third down. Depends on what happens here on first down. Touchback, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh at the 25. To say the least. To say the least. Struggles, one of the words you could use, yeah, but it's been pathetic. No running game. Okay, so Pickett's officially ruled out now with a concussion. Not going to return. So Trubisky for his third drive, hands off Najee Harris on 1st and 10. He breaks a tackle, still going. Powell gets pushed for 7 yards. 2nd and 3 for Pittsburgh. Keep running this football. Work clock. Do not snap it until there's under 4 minutes to go. About 3:50, give or take. Second and 2 after a gain of 8. You're going to snap with about 3:52. Now, go. 3:51. Even better. Oh, fumble on the snap. God damn it. Trubisky luckily right there to recover. Holy shit. Mason Cole at center. He did get injured earlier, but returned. Just out of the gun. And the ref's in the way. You can't see it good on the replay there. But I think the snap was just a little high. It hit him in the ass. And, you know, the snap out of the gun, you know, it bounced. And then Trubisky was lucky to recover. 3rd and 16 now. God damn. Loss of 14 yards. They'll have to snap it here with about 3:05. 3:07. Yep. Go deep. Go deep. Need a first down. Claypool, first down, Steelers. Out past the 35. Under 3 to go. Make Tampa start calling their timeouts. Get back to this run game. Run the football. I think Tampa might have just called one. No, clock's rolling. Don't snap it until about 2:24 to go. And then see if they call their timeouts before the 2-minute or after the 2-minute warning. But run the fucking football here. Please. Work clock. You have a 2-point lead. Run the football. They needed a first down. They got it. Claypool stepped up extremely well today at receiver. He has. You got to give him credit. And Trubisky ain't playing bad either. So if Pickett's going to be out, Trubisky, okay, 1 and 2 the starter, the Steeler, they would still win every game. Najee on the give, 3 yards to the 40. And timeout. Yep, Buccaneers call their first timeout. 2:20 to go. Be second and about 7 for Pittsburgh here. Up 2. You get them to call their timeouts before the 2-minute warning, get it down on the 2-minute warning, get on their first down or 2. You could run this clock out on them. He hasn't played bad. He didn't play bad whenever he started the year. It's just they didn't have a running game then. They still don't now. But, game on the line. We'll see if they can run the football when they need to. And they are to an extent. They're just, doing enough. They're getting by, just getting their ass. Get a couple first downs here. Work this clock. And next week's game should be interesting. Especially at quarterback with who's starting for both teams. Quarterback keeper. Tampa read it right from the start. Be 3rd and 10. And then maybe a late hit. No. Timeout Tampa with 2:15. 3rd and long again for Pittsburgh. See a replay of that. Can see a replay? That's a clean tackle. I don't know why they're doing that. I'm a Steeler fan myself. I don't know why. That's not a late hit. That's a clean tackle. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see anything either. I don't know why the hell they're doing. Connor Hayward coming in for Zach Gentry, 3rd and 11. We've seen Pickens make a play. We've seen Hayward make a play. We've seen Claypool, Jalen Warren, the ball game, a tailback. What about Deontay Johnson right now? 3rd and 11 for Pittsburgh. Back of the 36. 2:15 to go, up 2. Trubisky looking to throw. Going to step up in the pocket. Going to air it out. And caught at the 40. Claypool again. They say catch, first down, Pittsburgh. Yeah. Claypool having a fucking day. So, on any given day, who knows what the 1, 2, 3 is going to be a receiver. Just get him the football and make plays. Catch. Writes down. Elbows in, and then the foot hits, and then he falls out of bounds. That's a catch. Control and possession. That's a catch. And it's a catch on the field. Still 2:07 to play. Tampa could challenge if they want. They got 1 timeout, though. Of course, you have to find indisputed evidence of return if you're going to look at it. Play clock winding down. Call fucking timeouts, delay game. They get it off. Okay. From 38. Trubisky on a quarterback keeper going to keep it himself. And breaks a tackle. Stiff arm. Dives at the first down marker, signals first down. Clock wasn't even rolling. We should be at the 2-minute warning right now. They're going to have to reset the clock. But another first down for Pittsburgh. Tampa might not even get the ball back. Good. 2 minutes to play. So Tampa still has 1 timeout here. But Pittsburgh with another first down. Tampa with 1 timeout. It doesn't seem like they're going to get the ball back. And if they do, it's going to be with under a minute to go. Pittsburgh with a first down. Still might have to get 1 more first down. But we'll see. It's going to depend on what happens on this play coming up when we return. 2 minutes to play. Pittsburgh up 20-18. And it looks like the Giants are going to beat the Ravens. We had the, as mentioned, Falcons beat the 49ers. Yeah, looks like New York. The Jets and the Giants are both going to win today over the Packers and Ravens, respectively. Minnesota over Miami. Cincinnati getting the ball back, up 4. So they did score a little bit ago. More final scores. Bengals win officially, 30-26. And the Falcons won 28-14. New England, Cleveland could get interesting. 6 minutes to go. 9-point game, though. Yeah, the Jets are going to win. The Giants are going to win. The Vikings are going to win. Colts have the ball down 1 with 30 seconds. So talk about special teams for the brand. We'll see who wins that game. We're going to, of course, update all this later on anyway. But we're going to have live watch-along reactions over on YouTube for Bills Chiefs. Seems like at this point just the second half of that game. Because by the time this game gets over, I give a recap. That game's going to have already started here in about a half hour or so. And then at that point, okay, come 6 o'clock, start up with the second half of that game with Buffalo and Kansas City, and then also Sunday Night Football. So I guess I will get a little bit of a break in between 1 and 4 here, even though I wasn't planning on it. I was going to go straight through, but not going to be worth it by the time. Like, if the game would be over now and I'd be recapping it, that'd be a different story. I'd have a half hour. But by the time this game gets over, I recap, game's going to start, and then, we'll go from there. So, 2nd and 1 officially, they say. So, yeah, if they can get a first down here, game's over, because Tampa's only got 1 timeout. So, rather than 1st and 10, it's 2nd and 1. Claypool motion quarterback sneak. They push the pile. First down, Steelers. And that should do it. Tampa's got 1 timeout. Minute 51 and counting to play. We'll see if they call it. But it doesn't seem like Brady and the Bucs offense are getting the ball back. And it came down to that 2-point play. They scored. 2-point no good. Don't tie it up. It's 20-18. Giants officially beat the Ravens. First down. Move those sticks. And they'll take a knee. Trubisky comes in relief of Kenny Pickett, who went down with an injury in the second half. Throws a passing touchdown. They run the ball. They run the clock. Make sure Tampa doesn't get the ball back even after they scored and almost tied it up, but failed 2-point attempt. And the Steelers will win today for the first time since week 1. It's been a month and 5 days since 9/11. Today, October the 16th. Pittsburgh will snap a 4-game losing streak and get to 2-4 before they head to Miami next Sunday night to take on the Dolphins. Another foul nail down, and that'll do it. The Steelers will beat the Buccaneers 20-18. Tampa falls to 3-3. Pittsburgh now 2-4. Of course, hopefully Kenny Pickett's okay, but it seems like even with Mitch Trubisky, they'll be okay with him and okay without him. One of those, because he didn't play that bad when he started. But they needed a spark. They got that with Pickett. Now he's hurt. Hopefully he's okay. But, a lot of players here today as well that recently haven't made plays. They stepped up today when the game was on the line. Trubisky included. Okay? If only they had a more balanced and consistent running game. Okay? But Chase Claypool, Connor Hayward at tight end without Pat Freiermuth. Had a couple penalties up front. Mason Cole went down, came back in, but the offensive line seems to be fine. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx them. Wormley had a play or two. It sucks with everybody hurt. TJ Watt's still out, along with Minka Fitzpatrick, Cam Sutton, Keller Witherspoon, and Levi Wallace. But I thought James Pierre played extremely well today, as did Arthur Millette. Edmonds, Norwood as well. But Devin Bush. Hell, even Alex Highsmith had a strip sack on Brady. They recovered. Malik Reed almost had an interception. Jameer Jones, Spillane. Spillane and Jack had the deflections in the red zone to the tight ends that, who knows, they could have been touchdowns. as Tampa was held without a touchdown today. 4 field goals, and, well, they did score late. I'll give them that. Fournette. And 2-point was no good. So Pittsburgh wins at 20-18. As who's going to get interviewed by Pittsburgh here? If anybody. But of all people, I didn't think, come hell or high water, I'd be saying fucking Devin Bush's name at the end of this game for honestly making the biggest play of the game. You know, the deflection on the 2-point attempt, and then it was incomplete, and the Pittsburgh Steelers went by 2 then 20-18. Defense played extremely well from start to finish. That's what I said. Now, even going into last week, tough stretch. Like, with Miami's quarterback situation, the Dolphins game now next week is me talking last week. I'm going to say it now again, though, too. I said it earlier that the Dolphins game would be the most winnable, but Buccaneers would be the second, and then it'd, be a tie between Buffalo and Philly. And they lost at Buffalo. So they're 2-4 with a 1-2 record at home and a 1-2 record on the road. They go to Miami next Sunday night. But they found a way to win today against Tampa. They beat Brady and the Bucs. There's going to be a shit ton of people talking that, oh, this is a big surprise, big shock, all that horse shit. Excuse me. But then also, there's going to be people talking that big win for the Steelers. And no doubt about it, it is. But it's only one win. Okay? Normally say that when it's a loss. It's only one game. But they still have a lot of football left to play, as does everybody else. And next week's going to be interesting for both teams, it looks like, at quarterback. Is Tua going to play? Is Kenny Pickett going to play? Or is it going to be Mitch Trubisky, let alone Mason Rudolph backing them up if Pickett can't go? So insurance policy, they didn't trade him, kept him for the $5 million that he's worth. But then with Miami, Tua, Bridgewater, and then Skylar Thompson, but he got hurt today too. So that Sunday night game next week should be damn good with Pittsburgh and Miami. Pittsburgh normally has the Dolphins' number for the most part, including in the playoffs, I might add, when Miami does make the playoffs, for that matter, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They started 3-0, but now they've lost 3 straight. And both teams, honestly, probably should be 3-4 after next weekend, I'd have to say. So, we'll see what gives. Of course, that's then. We got a week to figure everything out. Of course, I'll have live watch along actions over on YouTube then. But a team win today, no doubt about it, for the Steelers, with emphasis on team, but on the defensive side, because they made plays, and they made plays, last week and the 4 games prior to that too. But that's why I said 2 weeks ago, they got to find a way to win these close games. Last week would have been a hell of a lot closer if they would have, made another stop or two, but then, Josh Allen balled out and, Buffalo blew out Pittsburgh. But then Pittsburgh today snaps a 4-game losing streak, and they found a way to win a close game, winning by 2 against the Buccaneers as they won by 3 at Cincinnati in overtime week 1. So they're 2-4. They go to Miami. We'll see how Philly is tonight. I mean, they're a damn good team. They host Dallas on Sunday Football. I hope to see everybody then. And then I don't know what Philly has next week, but I mean, that Steelers game should be damn good because on paper, 9 times out of 10, they normally are. Of course, 2 years ago, Philly came here and Pittsburgh won. And then back in 16, Pittsburgh went to Philly and lost, got blown out, from what I can recall. I mean, honestly, if they're at 3-5 going into the bye, I'll be happy, but I won't be, you know? Because right now, the way Miami's playing, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. All Dolphins fans were thinking they were winning the Super Bowl in September, but no. Slow and steady wins the race, folks. So how you start, it's how you finish. You know, Pittsburgh still hasn't had a losing season, and I still don't think they will. I think they'll, be able to find, a way, as they always do, because that's all it takes. When there's a will, there's a way, as they say. Beat Miami next week, 3-5 or 3-4, and then lose to Philly at 3-5, or hell, maybe even at 4-4 going into the bye. And then you get T.J. Watt back, and then you get defenders back, that were out today, including Minka Fitzpatrick and Cam Sutton. The offensive line, hasn't looked bad. Freiermuth back at tight end. You find a running game, and then you have a 2 quarterback system if it comes down to it, with Pickett and Trubisky, depending on health, and then up front on defense, Hayward and Larry Ogunjobi, the Marvin Leal to come back off IR, hopefully, get Watt back. That pressure with him and Highsmith and Reed. Hopefully the linebackers continue to step up. Claypool, Johnson, Pickens today is what it seemed like. Even though Pickens had a bigger catch or two compared to Johnson. We'll go over some stats here in a second as Trubisky gets interviewed. But, he stepped in and, they were winning, but then he did what he had to do and then led them to victory. Pickett technically wins his first home start, even though he got hurt. Trubisky came in and, finished it off for him. And you also beat Tom Brady in the process of doing so. So remember that years from now. But then even looking ahead, okay, they already beat the Bengals once. They get them the Sunday night before Thanksgiving. The Saints right after the bye. That'll be the next Steeler home game in about a month from now on November the 13th, Veterans Day weekend. They go to Indy on a Monday night. They go to Atlanta the following week, early December. And then, for the most part, division games in the final few weeks with the Panthers and the Raiders as the lone games that aren't. So don't get too far ahead of yourself by any means, but Pittsburgh's going to be fine. Pittsburgh's just going to be A-okay. And that's contingent on if they continue to play like this on defense. T.J. Watt comes back, they're playing 10 times better than at that point. Hopefully, knock on wood, you would hope. And then get some other, injured guys back. Whoever's at quarterback, getting the ball out to playmakers. Nothing stupid. We didn't have one single turnover today, which was a little hard to believe. But at the end of the day, all anybody ever remembers anyway is whether you won or lost, and the Steelers win 20-18 over the Bucs. But they got to continue to find a running game with Najee Harris and Jalen Warren if they're really going to want to be, a team not necessarily to be reckoned with, but just finding ways to win. That chip on their shoulder that, hey, everybody's against us. Nobody thinks we can win. Because that's what it felt like today. 4-game losing streak. We got our ass kicked last week, and let's go out and, show out today and beat a good Tampa team who's, banged up as well. But it could have been a hell of a lot different, no doubt about it, if, Tampa's 3-4 field goals were touchdowns and Pittsburgh's losing by 15, 20 points, not winning by 2. So reading inside the lines and between the lines, take it for what it's worth. At the end of the day, a win's a win. That's all that matters. And they're now 2-4. So that's that. We'll see moving ahead what happens. Like I said, hopefully Kenny Pickett's all right. But I guess next week on Sunday Night Football, it's the concussion quarterback game with Tua and Kenny. And we'll see if they can go down to South Beach and make some noise on Sunday night with KP, if he's healthy, if he's going to play. So because that's going to be the big thing this week. Tomlin probably won't have an update in his post-game presser right now anyway, because he never really does for injuries. Other than what we already know, of course. So that's not going to be anything new, because they already said he was ruled out with concussion. So we'll see who's starting quarterback next week for Pittsburgh. And if Pickett's out, well, it'll be Trubisky and then Rudolph backing him up. Unless they'd have to go out and sign somebody. At least they have Rudolph, I guess, behind them, who has experience and knows the system if it comes down to it. But they still got to find a running game. No doubt about it with Najee Harris. Today, as we have the Bills and Chiefs to kick off here in a matter of minutes at 4 o'clock. I will, in fact, have live watch along reactions over on YouTube of that, but I'll begin that with the second half, coming out of halftime, with the third quarter, as I've done in the past for a few other games. So we'll update that then as they're about to kick off. Of course, Sunday Night Football still to come later on the night as well. We'll also have live watch along reactions of that with Cowboys and Eagles, so be sure to tune back in. But in the meantime, Patriots-Browns is a lone 1 o'clock game still on. New England's going to win it. They're up 38-15 right now. Cleveland does have the ball 2 minutes to go. But the Cardinals and Seahawks are tied at 3, and the Panthers lead the Rams 3-0. But the Colts beat the Jaguars 34-27. Minnesota defeats Miami 24-16. The Falcons 28-14 win at home against the San Francisco 49ers. The Jets and the Giants both won against the Packers and Ravens, respectively, 27-10 and 24-20. Cincinnati at New Orleans won by 4, 30-26. And then, of course, on Thursday Night Football, Washington beat Chicago 12-7. Monday Night Football still to come. Tomorrow night, Broncos, Chargers. But the Pittsburgh Steelers won at Heinz Field here today. First win, technically, at Acrisure Stadium for them in the regular season, even though they, were 3-0 with 2 wins at home in the preseason. Over the Seahawks and Lions, respectively, with a win at Jacksonville as well. But first win at home for the Steelers since Roethlisberger's final game on Monday Night Football this past January against the Cleveland Browns, who are also going to fall to 2-4. So that's why I said even a couple weeks ago, losing streak here for Pittsburgh, and how much worse could it get? Hopefully they don't lose 7 in a row, be 1-7 going into the bye week, and then go from there if the season's over then at that point or not. But they're 2-4. I'm sure there's still going to be people hounding that, myself included, no doubt about it. And it starts with the running game, but you take the win. When you win, or when you lose, you say a little. When you win, you say less. So keep it short and sweet here, best I can. But still, at the same point in time, man. A win's a win at the end of the day. When they are 9.5-point underdogs. And now Brady, as he was 12-3 against the Steelers, we're going to make that 12-4 all-time against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's 10-2 all-time against the Bucs now, I might add. And Brady's 23-6 against rookie quarterbacks. He had won 12 in a row, but unlucky 13, if you will, was Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers today, and then Mitch Trubisky. And their two numbers, 10 and 8, total up there, 18 points that the Buccaneers scored, but Pittsburgh went by 2, 20-18. But with everybody they played, okay, they're 1-1 in the division. They beat Cincinnati and they lost to Cleveland. They don't play another divisional opponent until Cincinnati rolls in Sunday night before Thanksgiving. That's a little over a month from now. It's a month from what? Thursday? Yeah. So, yeah, they lost against New England. Yeah, they lost to the Jets. They also lost to the Buffalo Bills. They're 0-3 against the AFCs. They're going to try to pick up at least one win from that division next Sunday night at Miami. Hopefully not to go 0-4. Miami hosting Pittsburgh in primetime, just like Pittsburgh hosted Miami also in primetime on the Monday Night Football a couple years ago, I might add. But yeah, Pittsburgh home win today, first home win since last January. They're 2-4 now. They'll go on the road the next 2 weeks and then a bye week before New Orleans and Cincinnati roll in, before 2 more away games, and then it's every other in December. But no, a win's a win at the end of the day. A win is a win. I'll say this about Buffalo and Kansas City as they're about to kick off here. In the meantime, tomahawk chop for the Chiefs. Talk about how good these offenses are. As we got Jim Nance and Tony Romo along Tracy Wilson on the call on CBS. Playoff rematch from the divisional round this past January. Overtime thriller, which of course got the overtime rule changed in the playoffs, and rightfully so. But what defense bends doesn't break when this game comes down to it. I think, should probably keep an eye on that as Buffalo get the ball to begin the game. So, yeah, what defense bends doesn't break. Whoever doesn't, I think will win the game. And then we'll get into Sunday Night Football after the fact. Once we, return in a few short hours. More like an hour and a half for the second half of this game, and then Sunday Night Football still to come. But in the meantime, of course, Pittsburgh wins by 2, 20-18. Tom Brady, potentially in his final game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, was 25 of 40 for 243 yards passing and a touchdown. Leonard Fournette had 21 carries, 63 yards rushing. Also had a receiving touchdown on 6 catches for 38 yards. But Chris Godwin led Tampa in receiving with 6 catches for 95 yards. Mike Evans, 442. Spoke of Fournette there. Cade Otton, along with Cameron Braid at tight end. 2 catches for 23 and 14 yards, respectively. Gage had 2 catches, 20 yards. Rashard White had 4 carries, 12 yards, and 3 catches for 11 yards out of the backfield. And Suckup was 4-4 on field goals. Of course, did not kick any extra points because their lone touchdown they went for 2 and did not get it, and that ended up being the difference in a 2-point Steeler win. As Kenny Pickett, once again, technically, yes, does win his first home start. He's 1-1 now as a starter, as the Steeler quarterback. But injured in the second half, Mitch Trubisky comes in relief. And then, even though they're already up, they extend their lead, gave a late touchdown. But then, big defensive stand on a 2-point play by Devin Bush. Try was no good, and the Steelers run the ball and run the clock out then on Tampa's defense and win 20-18. So at the end of the day, a win's a win. They had, as Tampa, 4 field goals and a touchdown, no 2-point conversion. Pittsburgh, 2 touchdowns, 1 passing from Pickett, 1 passing from Trubisky, and then 2 Boswell field goals. So special teams still key. With technically combined 3 touchdowns and 6 field goals for a total of 38 points today. But yeah, technically Pickett does win his first home start, even though he didn't finish it. Got hurt. Trubisky comes in relief, and they still win in the end. So win's a win, and Steelers win 20-18. Pickett was 11 of 18, 67 yards passing, and a touchdown. Trubisky, though, 9 of 12. 144 yards passing and a touchdown as well. So, might be a good thing to have if it comes down to it, with 2 quarterbacks that are you know, playing pretty good. Not, great. Pickett can be, good. Trubisky's, your, average quarterback that just a signal caller, just gonna, hopefully make plays for you. A general, if you will. But the thing is with him, he didn't look bad, their first 3 games. But then it came down to in the first half against the Jets, they still weren't doing really anything on offense. They needed a spark. In comes Pickett. They should have beat the Jets. They lose to New York, though, because of the play calling late. Should have been running it when they were throwing it through the interception, which wasn't his fault because all 3 passes were, tipped and then picked off. And then he threw for over 300 yards last week in a loss at Buffalo, who has the ball at Kansas City right now. So we'll get back to this game in a little bit. As mentioned, had a lot of watch-along reactions in the second half, so be sure to tune back in, and then also Sunday Night Football. But then today, was early 5 of 5, finished 11 of 18, 67 yards and touchdown. The touchdown to Najee Harris, Trubisky's touchdown to Chase Claypool, and then, of course, Boswell, those 2 field goals. But I think it might be, honestly, a good problem to have when you think about it. Just as long as it's going to work out and they're both playing good. I'm not saying to run a 2-quarterback system, but if it comes down to it, Pickett's going to be out for a little bit. You go back to Trubisky as you did. And that's why I said after they lost to the Jets, because they should have beat New England. They should have beat the Browns to an extent, even though those 2 games they couldn't stop the run, let alone they still can't run it themselves. They got to find a way to win these close games, and then today they did. So, if they can, and then depending on the situation they're in, of course, Pickett, no doubt about it, is the starting quarterback and the future of the team. But I'm just saying, for next week and, next 2 games, really, into the bye week, if he's going to be out for 3 games, and then you get him back in a month from now against the Saints. Just looking ahead, with no diagnosis on how long he's going to be out, even though concussion out for the rest of the game today. Because he could play next week. We'll see. If he doesn't, well, Trubisky's going to start, and then maybe he backs up, but if he doesn't even dress, Rudolph will back up. But they definitely then got to find a running game then. And then the defense has to, play extremely well, just like they did today, too. But I think, honestly, it might be a good problem to have. I don't know how many people are going to agree with me on that, but at the end of the day, you win and lose as a team. You got to have a quarterback to win, no doubt about it. They got to find a running game. But as long as you win at the end of the day, that's all anybody ever remembers. Win's a win. So they win at home today, defeating Tampa by 2, 20-12. Pickett, as mentioned, was 11 of 18, 67 yards passing and a touchdown. Trubisky, 9 of 12, 144 yards and a score as well. Najee Harris did have 14 carries, 42 yards rushing. And then that catch for a touchdown on the screen early, but, nothing else. Claypool of the team in receiving, 7 catches, 96 yards and a score. Connor Hayward, Cam's little brother, stepped up a tight end with no Pat Fryermuth. Zach Gentry only had 1 catch for 4 yards. Connor Hayward had a big 45-yard catch in the fourth quarter, finished with 2 catches, 49 yards. Deontay Johnson had 5 catches, 28 yards. Pickens 3 at 27. And then, as mentioned, Harrison, Zach Gentry. But, a win's a win. Pretty even, pretty balanced, down the middle with both of these teams. Brady had more passing yards by about 40 yards. Rushing was about the same. Talk about time possession. You can't get much more even than this. 30 minutes and 1 second to 29 minutes and 59 seconds. Down to the wire. Back and forth. Defense bends doesn't break. Penn State, with Penn State's loss yesterday, this Steeler win today makes up for it a little bit. Not by much, but at least both didn't lose this weekend to Michigan Brady's alma mater, and then Tom Brady and the Bucs today. So a little bit better, but not by much, even though a win's a win. Take it for what it's worth. You still look at still a lot of football to be played. So, like I said at the start, no doubt about it. Still pissed off by yesterday, but I'll get over it until, we'll see what happens next weekend for both games. But yeah, like I said, time possession, like 30 minutes and 1 second, an advantage of Tampa, and then 29-59 for Pittsburgh. You can't get more even than that. We had 13 total penalties, no turnovers, which was a surprise. I thought we were going to, but we didn't. Yeah, Tampa had more this, more that, but at the end of the day, talk about these stats, that doesn't matter when you lose, just like they did, because Pittsburgh beat them by 2, 20-18, once again. So, I've said my piece. Of course, think of anything else later. I'll say it during the second half of Bills Chiefs, along with Sunday football, Monday Night Football tomorrow night. Later on, by the end of the night, that is when officially we're going to recap college football from this past week and preview next week, along with then for Monday Night Football tomorrow night, recap the NFL and preview next week as well. So stay tuned, of course, for all that. But in the meantime, that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports. Cool Hand Luke 96. So thank you once again for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Steelers won it by 2, 20-18. So here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Win's a win. And now they got to go to Miami next Sunday night. Winnable situation for Pittsburgh, I think. But I think the same probably could be said for Miami. You got a 2-4 team at a 3-3 team. We had weather on Sunday Night Football that very weekend last year. And it always rains in Florida. Pittsburgh's played down there in a fucking hurricane before. I believe it rained when Miami came up to Pittsburgh late October on a Monday night a couple years ago as well, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see how much weather is going to be a factor. I'm a meteorologist. I haven't looked ahead. Don't really care. But sometimes, of course, that can affect the game, good or bad for either team. But I think just next week, as long as Pittsburgh can find a running game, regardless of who's playing quarterback, and the defense shows out, and then offensively overall, just, put up some points, hopefully. It'll be close. I think they might be able to find a way to win. But, of course, we'll see how it plays out. Of course, that's why they play the games. Not decide on paper. It's decided on the field. So, we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, until then, just once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. See everybody now later on tonight for more NFL Live Watch Along reactions this week 6. But in the meantime, the Steelers won it by 2 as they are 9.5-point underdogs against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And your final score, Pittsburgh 20, Tampa Bay 18. They haven't lost to Tampa Bay since 2014. It's been a good decade. They look back. As today's meeting was the first since they met on Monday night in Tampa a couple years ago. As they'll play every 4 years unless they meet in the Super Bowl. Unless now with the expanded schedule, they're that one crossover game. As Philly is for Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. That's what with the Steelers. The furthest south they'll travel is next week to Miami. The furthest north, they've already went to Buffalo last week. Furthest west, they'll go to Indy after Thanksgiving on a Monday night. And the furthest east is next week in Philly. When last year's NFC crossover game for them was Seattle, they got them at home on a Sunday night around this time. And then that game went to overtime. Of course, you remember when T.J. Watt with Russell Wilson out after he first got injured, got the Geno Smith, and then Pittsburgh won on a game-winning field goal as the clock struck midnight. But so even looking ahead, like I said a little bit ago, the schedule shakes out if they can not necessarily get hot, but just find ways to win. Potentially make a run down the stretch, and then we'll see what happens as we get into late November, into December as well. Because that's why they play the game. It's not set on paper, it's set on film. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So at 1-4, they're now 2-4 with a win at home against the Buccaneers today, 20-18. As Tampa officially, the Buccaneers will play at 3-3. They will play next week. As it seems like I said earlier, in the past few weeks, I've literally seen every single one of their games. Yeah, Dallas was Sunday night, did that. New Orleans week 2 was side by side with the Steeler-Patriot game. They hosted Green Bay right before Hurricane rolled in. Then they hosted Kansas City. Also on Sunday night after the Hurricane, as the game stayed in Tampa. For whatever reason, last week it was also on TV too, on Fox in my area, when it probably should have been Lions Patriots, but it was Falcons Bucks as we watched Steelers Bills in that game, and then of course today. But Tampa will go to Carolina now next Sunday, so that should be a winnable game for them, I would have to think. Get to 4-3. Pittsburgh goes to Miami. Knock on wood, hopefully it should be 3-4, and then be 4-4, 3-5, going into the bye week early November. Still could be 2-6, but I doubt it. I think they'll be able to win one of these next 2 games. With still next week, said it, with Dolphins, Bucks, and then a tie between Buffalo and Philly, the Bills and Eagles, that lasts for the tough 4-game stretch that Pittsburgh has here in October and before the bye week. But we'll see what happens. But with all that being said, and wrap it up, think about it, take it for what it's worth. But at the end of the day, Steelers win and a win's a win. Okay, 20-18 your final score. They beat the Buccaneers this afternoon. So, in the meantime, once again, that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports. Coy and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And I'll see everybody a little bit later on here for the second half of Bills, Chiefs, and then a Sunday night football affair between the Cowboys and Eagles. As mentioned, we start in Pittsburgh. We'll head to Kansas City, and we'll end in Philly before heading out to SoCal tomorrow night on Monday Night Football with the Broncos and Chargers. But today, as Tampa falls to 3-3, Pittsburgh gets to 2-4 with a 2-point 2018 win. The Steelers beat the Buccaneers. Officially, your final score once again, Steelers 20, Buccaneers 18.